4th down and 6. Olbridge gotta have it. Shotgun formation. Nugent, a lot of time. Rolls out. He's running out of space. Will roll the other way. They look, corner of the end zone. Touchdown!
Rowan heading for the touchpad with the lead. And the props will take the men's 400-yard freestyle relay.
Andrews will be in shotgun. He takes the snap, fakes the handoff. He'll throw it down the left sideline. He's got a wide open receiver. He's got the touchdown.
Motion man is Simmons. Trotman throwing towards Simmons down the field, and he makes the catch in traffic for a Bearcats touchdown.
Back to pass, middle of the field. The catch is made by Britt. She's off to the races at the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. Britt is in for the score.
Back on in, here's Yoxon. Yoxon to the backhand, trying to go to the front, makes the move and shot, and he scores!
And Gracie comes set and delivers. And that's it on the ground to second. Throw to first, in time, and the ball game is over. South Shore survives a late scare, and they are the 2024 New York State Little League Baseball champions.
Live from the Aquaplex in Hampton, Virginia, PDF Sports Network is proud to welcome you into coverage of the 2026 New Jersey Athletic Conference Swimming and Diving Championship meet. Tonight we continue the meet with coverage of Day 2's swimming finals live here from our main pool. My name is David Pizzuto, here throughout the week with my partner John McCooch, and we thank you for joining us here at the Aquaplex, where we continue this 4-day journey culminating in individual and team championships in both men's and women's swimming and diving within the New Jersey Athletic Conference. Before we officially get underway, let's let you know what is on tap tonight. Coming up here in the main pool will be coverage of the men's and women's 400A medley relay, diving break, 500 free, 200 IM, and men's and women's 50 free. We're going to break now for our nation's anthem here live from the Aquaplex. All right, once again, the playing of our anthem, and we'll give you our schedule one more time here. The men's and women's 400 medley A relays will start us off. Then we will break for about 30 to 40 minutes so that diving can take place over in our diving stream. The 500 free, men's and women's 200 individual medley, and then we finalize with the 50 free a little later on tonight. These events tonight are final heats. They do result in point scoring. A reminder that individual swimmers at the NJAC Championship are allowed to participate in up to 3 individual events and up to 4 relay events. Point scoring will be up to 24 places. The scoring is being presented on your screen. Take note that the relay event tonight, kicking us off, is worth double points. So, John, 4 big events tonight, a little bit of distance, a little bit of sprint, but a lot of points at stake. And with a lot of freestyle tonight being showcased, we're going to see speed rule the night.
We saw the double point situation last night as well. It showed up big, and we saw, TCJ coming out the big league. We'll get to the standings a bit later, but these are such big races. And again, you mentioned speed will rule the night. That's going to be a big part of it. Those are the races that a lot of people get really excited for. That 50 freestyle is where you just go. We saw a sub 20 in the preliminaries. We're going to talk about all that as well. But this is what you watch for. These races that we're watching tonight, and you still got 2 days of great stuff going on for the next 2 days, but It is going to be a great night here we have on our hands. Everyone's still getting into it. Still another packed crowd tonight on day 2, so we've got a good one.
A little bit of SRO going on, standing room to our right. Anyway, so for the sake of some housekeeping here, before we get underway officially, we should mention that swimming events will occur each day here in the Aquaplex from here on in both the morning with preliminary heats and in the evening with top 24 in each event making it to the final heats. The diving pool streams during the morning sessions will also feature swimming preliminaries. The women will do their preliminary heats in the diving pool on Friday, which was earlier today, and Sunday. The men will do their prelims in the diving pool tomorrow on Saturday morning. However, the main pool final streams, which is we are here tonight, in the evening, they only feature swimming for both men and women. So if you're looking for diving, you need to switch over to the diving stream. If you're looking for the diving stream, bottom right corner of your screen under the related streams, you'll find them. So, John, let's talk a little bit about these events and what we can expect tonight. We start off with our only relay of the day. We saw the B relays earlier in the morning. Very heated, a lot of heats actually. I think there were 7 and 8 respectively for the men and the women, and they weren't separated by much. This will be the A relays, and every team, much like last night, will be represented.
Right, it's always great to see every team find a way to get something in, and obviously when you get to the women's side, you'll see Kane as they're the women's exclusive swimming squad, but you start out pretty good. You always like seeing all the teams come together. You get 4 swimmers out there, and you get that medley relay in there. But there's some competition. There's a lot of competitive situations going on here. There's rivalries in this NJAC. Now, it is going to be a big-time race, especially right out the gate, having that longer race to come out. And we do end with those 50s. We'll get into that as well. But you've got some tight races here. Obviously, we take a look at that second heat we're going to get. TC&J and Salisbury are only separated by really a tenth of a second,
right,
in their prelim, in their seed time. So this is going to be a very competitive one right here.
Yeah, and the seed time is just a little bit away from record time too,
right.
And you'd have to think that the time in the pool tonight is going to eclipse their seed time. We saw that happen, of course, all night last night with our 2 relay events as well. And we already have on both the men's and the women's side of the 400 NCAA B times have already been met just based on seed times during the season. So obviously you're looking for that elusive A-cut time in the NCAA, but just a great chance to showcase here. And like you said, you can kind of cut this with a razor blade here at this point. And that, silver medal's great, bronze medal's awesome, but these teams, they want that gold medal, and you're going to see them show out here.
And you want the points, too. The points
right.
are really going to be huge because 64 points, it could be the difference when we get to day 4, when we get to the finals, when you start looking at everything and the picture becomes a bit more clear. You're going to go back to those relays that come up and really make the difference in a lot of these situations. And the solo ones are going to be great, and those are going to be exciting and awesome, and a lot of the individual swimmers, because in these team relays, you don't get to have the individual swimmers shine as much, and they get that opportunity as well tonight. We'll get into it.
Absolutely. A little bit more housekeeping as we have about 3 or 4 minutes till post time here. As you are watching on your screen, lane 1 is the bottommost lane, and it travels up onto your screen into lane 8. So when we mention our lanes here, lane 1 is the one right at the bottom of your screen where the fans are overlooking the action. And of course, lane 8 is all the way by our scoreboard on the screen. So just to give you a little bit of the lay of the land here, we will have 2 heats in both of these relays. There'll be 3 in heat 1 on the men's side and 3 in heat 1 on the women's side, and we'll have 6 and 7 respectively for men and women. Again, all teams represented here by their A team. And then later on, we'll have 3 heats in each individual race, John. Again, not a lot of separation between a lot of these guys, up and down in our bonus finals consolation and then our championship finals. We do have some alternates that were there just in case there was a late scratch here. We are not aware of any scratches going into this one. So we should have the full complement, and we should have, again, great speed, NCAA cut times on the B side for the men's 500 free. The women just off the mark there. We do have a B time on the women's 200-yard IM a little bit later on. And, and then in the 50 free, we have B times also being met. So those are some things we'll look at as well, in addition to the actual, head-to-head battling here as we go. John, while we have just a few moments, let's take a look at the scoring coming into this one. Let's take a look at the men first, since they will swim first. This was after yesterday, so 3 events, the 2 relay events and the 3-meter diving for the men. Any surprises here, John, for you?
I was having some discussions with some of my contacts in the swimming world. They were saying TC&J was really going to make an impact. That, we were looking at things, and TC&J kind of stood out, and they really stood out as the number 1 team. They got a huge rivalry with Rowan, and they sit at number 5. But TC&J, they have been the buzzsaw that they kind of were maybe expected to be, as well as Merchant Marine Academy kind of came out and surprised a lot of people.
Well, a lot of those diving points too, top 3.
They've got a ton of that. Obviously, Carter Cove did a great job, but they had a ton of points, and the diving portion helped, like you mentioned as well. But even those races too, they're performing too. U.S. Merchant Marine Academy, they're neck and neck with TC&J and Salisbury, and then University of Mary Washington probably maybe had a lot more points than we may have expected heading into this one, because Salisbury was kind of up there, and a lot of these categories, Rowan's right there as well. It's still really a lot of these teams are in it and can get top 3 finishes. TC&J has stood out, but we'll see kind of how they do. They've got a lot of great individual swimmers do TC&J, especially once you get to that 50, and we'll talk about them once that kind of comes up. But surprises? Not a ton, because TC&J, they're TC&J.
Yep, and then we head over to the women, and you see them, 1 through 10, and really not a lot of separation between even as far down as 9th with Ramapo, with the leaders of Salisbury, 48 points of a difference there. So obviously a very small sample size. The women only had the 2 events. So
right, and we'll see the diving later on as well, and
right.
that we'll kind of do all the math there as the night ends. But Salisbury is definitely, you see them show up. Maybe expect more from Kane tonight. They may have a bit of an edge to them.
All right, so we have William Patterson in lane 3, Roger Williams in lane 4, and Ramapo in lane 5. They were separated, if you can help me out here, they're separated by 6 seconds during seed times. Roger Williams and Ramapo was. William Patterson posted a seed time of just under 4 minutes. So behind the pack, if you will. But certainly Roger Williams the favorite, but again, we should see these times really balloon forward here, or balloon to a lower degree, right, depending on how you
want the balloon to deflate.
Yes.
That's what you want the balloon to do right
the balloon.
There. That's all you got to do. Deflate the balloon, and you come out with more pins when you get to this point. I'm trying to come up with balloon analogies at this point now. But they're getting there, and you usually see these seed times not just shaved down by a half a second. A lot of the time, they're shattering these seed times. They know that this is the race that they've kind of prepared all season for. So you see a lot of things change,
So already coming down to the wire here with the backstroke, and Roger Williams does have their lead, kind of neck and neck, 2nd and 3rd place, with Ramapo holding a slight edge. We'll see how they come to the boards. It was Ramapo touching up, but as we go to the breaststroke here, Roger Williams comfortably ahead, and it's that battle really for 2nd and 3rd, although you could make the argument it's 7th, 8th, and 9th when you think about it here with the...
Unless if you get just a great time for Roger Williams coming out here.
Of course, you can place... Yep, your goal is to climb up the ladder here.
Right.
They just happen to be in the first heat.
Yeah, they just show out. They have, just the way that the pool works and the math and all that great stuff, but... You have to factor in the time of Roger Williams, because they weren't too far off from getting into that 3rd heat.
Mm-hmm.
Next closest time was a 3:27.40 from Montclair State, a 3:26.37 from Merchant Marine Academy. So if one of those teams kind of tapers off, then you can see Roger Williams climb into maybe that top 6 or 5.
Yeah, they had about an 8-second lead at the last split, and meanwhile Ramapo was just holding on with about a 0.3 of a second lead over William Patterson. Well, actually, yes, that's right. And now they flip-flop. So William Patterson now in lane 3, holding a little more than a second lead there. As they come in, Roger Williams almost with a full-length lead now.
They've really gained here.
Absolutely. 1 full length as they crisscross right in the middle. It's just a great run right here with the breaststroke for Roger Williams.
They're almost there. They're close to getting a whole stroke's length at this point.
Yeah.
They're getting there. But it's a good battle between William Patterson and Ramapo. It's getting tight up here.
Right. William Patterson does have a little bit of a lead here. maybe about a body length, maybe half. As Roger Williams into their freestyle here and down that first 25. They'll win this heat rather easily, and we'll see if Ramapo and William Patterson have to fight the rest of the way down the stretch. That'll be more of the interesting finish. 3:01.97 so far for Roger Williams. They look like they are going to challenge their final time.
A really good pace right now.
Yep.
It's 3:30.05.
Yep.
Shooting to get a good amount under that, and sure looking at other team seed times as well once you get into it.
Roger Williams in and touching up at 3:25.95. So that is a great showing, shaving 5 full seconds off of their seed time during the regular season. We'll see if it's enough to climb the ladder, as we mentioned before, over the top 6. And meanwhile, coming in heated in lane 5 was Ramapo, and they do indeed touch first. John, 0.3 of a second ahead of William Patterson, and it was that freestyle leg that did it and got them up over William Patterson.
Right there, and that'll likely be kind of that bottom of the ranking right there. But Ramapo, they found a way to get over William Patterson right there, and they got, again, like you mentioned, a good freestyle. But William Patterson did a good job making that close right there.
Yeah, well, William Patterson shaved about 12 seconds off of their seed time. Ramapo came in a little bit under their seed time coming in, but here we go. The top 6 on the men's side, paced by TCNJ with that great NCAA cut time, that B cut time of 3:16.25, and 1/10 of a second behind them as Salisbury expect a dogfight in lanes 4 and 5. Lane 3 will be Mary Washington. Lane 2, the United States Merchant Marine Academy. And in lane 6 and 7, it's Rowan and Montclair State, respectively.
And you've got 2 teams separated, like you mentioned, by less than a 20th. You have the Mary Washington Rowan battle and the TCNJ Salisbury battle. Salisbury Merchant Marine Academy right in there with Montclair State. So you've really got 3 battles to take a look at. So we're going to have a lot to follow in this race right here between these 7 teams.
Lanes 4 and 5 will certainly capture our attention, but Mary Washington right in the mix as well. They were a full 7 seconds behind in seed time, but judging by what they did in the relays last night, they are a force in this event as well. $64 big points on the line. Certainly they'll all score here, but those 10, 8, and 6-point differences mean the world to these teams as they start to tally up the ledger. They're on their marks and in the pool, starting off here.
The NJAC record, 3:15.73. Both TCNJ and Salisbury right there trying to get there. And the original time is by TCNJ. So I'm sure the current TCNJ squad is looking at that time going, we can do that.
Yep, might be some familiar faces as well if they're returning players.
Sibling as well.
Yeah. Always tough this first leg, John, because we mentioned this yesterday. You got everybody kind of shoulder to shoulder. You have to pace yourself here for sure, but you go all out here for this 100 out of the 4. Final strokes here of the backstroke, and it does look as if it will be TCNJ pacing things here, and they come in at 48.29. Touching up second, Salisbury at 48.91, so 0.7 seconds off the leaders.
So you've got a race right here.
Right. Yep, and the top 2 kind of distancing themselves here. We have lane 2 showing very well with the United States Merchant Marine Academy and Rowan as well in lane 6 to keep an eye on as they touch again 1-2 TCNJ and Salisbury. USMMA is pacing in third over Rowan, about 0.7 seconds ahead of them.
Mary Washington right there with them as well.
TCNJ and Salisbury touched almost at the same exact time. And down the stretch here, it looks as if Salisbury might have just a hair of a lead on TCNJ. The touch, however, comes from TCNJ, 0.22 seconds.
Wow.
As we head into the fly. 100 yards of butterfly here, and they make the turn around the first 25. TCNJ building on their lead. A dogfight for third as USMMA trying to ward off Mary Washington and Rowan. It is USMMA in third, Mary Washington in fourth, Rowan in fifth, Montclair in sixth. And as they head towards the final turn here of the butterfly, TCNJ does have themselves about a half a body length of a lead. We'll see if they can hold it through the freestyle.
That's the big thing. Can they hold it?
And the final 100. TCNJ in the pool, Salisbury in the pool, and here we go. Sprint time, 100 yards of the freestyle. USMMA pacing in third place. Just ahead of Mary Washington, but here we go at the midway point, and the 50, TCNJ opening up their lead just a little bit. It's just under 2 seconds. Salisbury's going to need to work a little bit harder here, but TCNJ doesn't look like they are falling off the pace here, John. Final 25.
It's time to just take a look at the NJAC record at this point for them. They are moving.
Doesn't look like they will be caught, although Salisbury's going to post a pretty good time as well. 1:12.55, 1:13.72, 1 and 2 for TCNJ, and Salisbury USMMA staying true in third at 3:18.03. About a 1.5 second lead over Rowan at 3:19.91. Mary Washington takes fifth at 3:19.99. 0.08 of a second behind Rowan, and Montclair stayed at 3:22.86, rounds it out.
That 3 through 5 stayed close the whole way. Both Salisbury and TCNJ good for the original NJAC record. That's about the race you expected right there. Good race between those kind of third half, and then TCNJ and Salisbury. It's going to be a battle between them all throughout this week and weekend. And that's just Act 1 really right there for today.
Yes, indeed. And we saw the places really hold true as well.
Yeah, it didn't really move out too much. TCNJ kind of held on, and they gained that half a body lead about the midway point of the race, and they just really did not look back at all.
So heat number 1 for the women will feature William Patterson in lane 3, Williams in lane 4, and Ramapo in lane 5. So Roger Williams again steadying the pace here, and they have about a 6-second lead as far as seed time, and William Patterson trailing farther behind, about 20 seconds off of Roger Williams' pace.
Roger Williams is about a second behind one of the teams in the next heat, 4:08.43 for U.S. Merchant Marine Academy. So again, it's the same situation. You got to keep an eye on the times and see if they can maybe kind of sneak past and be better than one of the teams that come up in the next heat. So Roger Williams will take a look at for sure, and Ramapo sit at that midpoint between these two teams with 4:15.01. And
in the second heat, Kane already has achieved NCAA B-cut time at 3:49.84, but keep an eye on the 3:50.46 time. That's the B-cut time, and we might see a couple of these other teams in the next heat eclipse that and achieve it. So our backstrokers are in the pool. And they're flying off. Roger Williams in the center, being flanked by William Patterson and Ramapo. And through the first 25, Roger Williams already with about a quarter of a body lead here.
That's kind of what you expect. We'll see how much Ramapo's kind of able to hold on and keep pace. And so far, they're doing it.
They sure are. Still about a half a body length away as they make their second turn into the final 50 here of the backstroke.
Gained a ton on that first turn.
Yes, absolutely. That turn was critical there into the bulkhead. And a good kickoff.
And again, getting close to that railing. Got to keep an eye on
that.
Yeah, this one.
Got to watch for the penalty there.
Yeah.
You touch that lane marker. But through the first 100, Roger Williams will have a lead. We'll see how much it will be. Exactly 1 minute 38 they touch up at 1:02.65 for Ramapo, so about 2.3 seconds off that mark. And William Patterson touches up at 1:10.13, about 10 seconds off the leaders.
The NJAC record for this one, 3:48.38. That was backed by University of Mary Washington, which we'll see in the next heat. See how close some of these teams get to that. Again, Kane very close to that record in the preliminaries. So we'll get a look at that as well as they make that B cut like we mentioned before. But Roger Williams still pacing here.
Yep, 1:32.57, the sub 30-second split.
I just took the eyeball off of one of these binoculars. I don't know how I did that.
It's all right. Just want to make sure we see the split time. Okay, yep, there we go. We have a couple of fans who are standing right in front of us, so we are absolutely shielded from the action.
We are blind to the pool at the moment.
We forgot to mention that earlier, but the angle that you have on your screen, that is not our angle. We are in the opposite corner, and we are recessed into the corner. And so if anybody's standing in front of us, and we'll make sure that they sit down at the end of this heat, we are blind. We are watching our screen just like you are, except our screen is about 3 inches big.
I'm not sure if you fired up the television for this one.
No, we did not.
No, we did it. I'm saying the fans at home, you know.
It's a 26-7 split for Roger Williams, keeps them in first place.
It's going to be a lot of standing room only as this event gets even more packed day by day. William Patterson gets their 27-56 split right there, and now the fans start to find their shape.
Now they're finding their seats in front of us, and we're no longer blind. Sorry about that, folks. As we get the freestylers in the pool, Roger Williams again with a huge lead. 3:05.59 they came in on that last split. Will challenge their seed time. Comfortably in second is Ramapo with a heavy lead over William Patterson. Patterson 3:25.24 exiting that last turn. And the final 50 for Roger Williams, 3:33.80 on that turn after 50. We'll see if they can keep it under 4 minutes. It doesn't look like they will here. But Roger Williams will indeed place first in this heat. They gave 4 minutes a run, but they'll end up just over 4:01.94, wins that heat. And coming in at 4:07.90 was Ramapo. Quality run for them as they shaved off plenty of time off their seated time. And William Patterson is coming in now, the final third of the pool length. And they touch up at 4:23.27. So good quality run for the three, and I believe all three top their seed times during the regular season. So that's always good to see. It's what you kind of expect coming in here.
And by a good bit, too.
Yeah.
By a really good bit. Roger Williams is going to make this a competitive one here in this next heat for the women.
Right. I wrote down their time so we could see if it ends up landing them in the top 7.
Yep, I've got it.
Oh, good. So USMMA will be in lane number 1 at the bottom of your screen. Montclair State in lane 2. Mary Washington lane 3. Kane, the favorites, they've already achieved B-cut time. They're the 4. Salisbury, the 5. Rowan is in lane 6. And TCNJ at the top of your screen is in lane 7. Seed times anyway, not separated by much. Again, a less than 1 second differential between Kane and Salisbury. About 0.9 there. And then about 3 seconds away from them was Mary Washington and Rowan in lanes 3 and 6. So we should see all 4 of those teams, John, within the same third of the pool almost.
Just about, yeah.
Yep.
They're next to each other as well, so we'll be able to kind of see, barring anyone doesn't stand in front of us. But it's that Kane squad you watch out for, and it's Mary Washington and Rowan you watch out for, too. That's kind of the big battle right here is Rowan trying to sneak back up in the standings, both of them as well when it comes to the point totals here. So, again, double points. It comes really in a big time here, early in this meet.
So here we go, final heat of the 400 medley relay on the women's side. Top 7 teams in the pool, and they are off. We'll see how the pace gets set here They rise up at the midway point of the pool. Kane does have themselves about a half a body length advantage here and probably building on that over their rivals in lane 5, Salisbury, but right there was Mary Washington as well in lane 3 right behind, and actually in lane 6, Rowan doing a really nice job on this split. In fact, Rowan touched up first over Kane. Salisbury in third. We'll see if they can hold the pace. 26:49 to Kane's 26:64, a .15 differential. Forget about those outside lanes sometimes, John, but Rowan is flying here, and they have about a quarter of a body lead on Kane here through the first 100 of the back.
Moving really quickly with this now. They win the split again, 27-96.
Yep, 24:45 for Rowan and 54:90 overall. So a .45 differential there, about a half a second. And again, you have to see if they can hold here. New stroke, the breaststroke. We'll see how they come down the stretch here, down the first 50, but Rowan continuing to keep the pace. That is a strong first 50 for Rowan there. Sub 30-second split. The rest of the field, or at least Kane comes in with a 30-second split. Salisbury in third place. They had a sub 30 split as well.
And Kane with that beat cut, they made it. You have to imagine they have higher expectations heading into this one. We'll see if they're able to climb back. I mean, still plenty of race to go, but right now it's been Rowan.
Yep. And looks like they might hold here through these final 25 as well. Breaststroke with a quality run. They were the fastest for sure here coming down the stretch. Rowan touches up in first. A 34-second split, 158.98 overall. Kane, 159.89, so about a second off the leaders. Salisbury in third, about 3 seconds behind there. Mary Washington in fourth, TCNJ in fifth, Montclair State in sixth, and USMMA at the bottom of your screen in seventh. Here we go. Butterfly time. And Kane is starting to cut into that advantage. They touch up first on a gorgeous split time there. Rowan still holding steady in second, followed very closely by Salisbury in third. But this is the time, John. You can see Kane pulling ahead here. This is their stroke.
And it's almost like Rowan kind of pushed them forward a little bit, kind of gave them a little bit of energy playing from behind now, but it's getting close here on the back end here.
It is, but Kane will touch up first with a split time of 30:51. They have a sub 2 second lead over Rowan, and Salisbury is just 1 second off the second place Rowan for third. Mary Washington in fourth, Montclair State in fifth, TCNJ and USMMA. Bring up the rest. Here we go, down the stretch.
You gotta imagine Rowan wants this over Salisbury to force them into third place. Rowan can pick up some huge points in second. It's a big difference.
Oh, wow.
When you talk about the doubles here.
.4 separating second and third place.
Wow.
So less than half a second. Salisbury has made up some ground as we go to the freestyle, and we'll see what they have in store for us. Kane might have too big of a lead here for either one to make up, but they are coming on strong, especially Salisbury here. They might overtake Rowan for second place. First, second for Salisbury, and third for Rowan. Wow. Came on strong to end it. Kane, first place finish, comes at 3:47.54. It was 1.1 seconds ahead of Salisbury, 3:48.69. Salisbury split 26-25. That led the field. Rowan in third at 3:49.43. And then you have fourth place was Mary Washington. Fifth place, Montclair State. Sixth was TCNJ. USMMA coming in seventh. Roger Williams' time is actually good enough to overtake USMMA.
Yep, and .02 off of TCNJ, so very close right there. They did a great job. But Kane good for an NJAC record, the original 3:48.38. They surpassed that at 3:47.54. We just saw that original one was last year, almost to the day. It was on February 14, 2025, last NJAC. So,
but the top three all achieve NCAA B cut times now.
That too.
So they're all sub 350s. So that's a win for the conference. But Kane takes gold, Salisbury takes the silver, and Rowan takes the bronze. A good heated final. So right now scheduled is a break for diving. So the women's 1 meter divers will get themselves ready. So we will throw a disclaimer up on our screen here. We will have the full breadth of diving coming up, and then we will return, John and I will return for the individual events that will come after diving. So in the NJAC, they do not do swimming and diving at the same exact time. So if you are interested in watching diving, please check out our diving stream. We're not going to go anywhere here. This stream is going to continue to stream. But if you want to head over to our diving stream, that's where you'll find our divers. Our public address announcer will be making the announcement of the respective divers and the dives. And you can follow them there. And then when those 8 divers are done with their 6 dives and the winners are announced, then we will rejoin you back here for the 500 freestyle in both the men's and the women's. Thank you for joining us here on the NJAC Championship Swimming and Diving Meet here on the PDF Sports Network. Before we let you go, a reminder that the NJAC Swimming and Diving Championships kickoff would assure to be an exciting winter championship season for the conference. Next weekend on February 21st and 22nd, the NJAC Indoor Track and Field Championships will be held at the University of Pennsylvania's OTT Center. Also next Saturday, the NJAC women's and men's basketball tournaments will get underway. The women's tournament will feature a Saturday, Tuesday, Friday format, while the men's tournament will feature a Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday format. For ticket information and all other NJAC Winter Championship details, please visit njacsports.com.
Wrapped up our swimming portion of this evening session, so we'll have diving. We have a break right now. Not exactly sure how long it'll be. Should have to wait, but we'll have diving for you on the stream right here. Just a bit, so make sure you stay right there, and we'll have you over here now. For our public address announcement down there, we'll have coverage of the diving portion for our event in just a bit, so make sure you stay right there. When they officially stop, we can take that down. Yeah. Introduce it, they'll be good.
Women's 1 meter finals. Emma Walker, University of Mary Washington, 402C. Judges reward 28.0. Caroline Barron, University of Mary Washington, 103B. Judges reward 31.45. Joelle Rosberg, William Patterson University of New Jersey, 302C. Judges reward 27.2. Hannah Simons, the College of New Jersey, 104C. Judges reward 38.5. Aubrey Hitchens, Montclair State University, 104C. Judges reward 31.9. Jenna Windle, the College of New Jersey, 104B. Judges reward 32.2. Melody Lynn, the College of New Jersey, 104C.
Dave, we lost camera one right now. We still have that one.
Judges reward 30.8. Beth Vivaldi, the College of New Jersey, 203B. Judges reward 36.8. Round 7.
You have a little bit of a crisis right now.
Emma, 103B.
All right.
Two quick things.
Yeah.
The place in Philly where the track is pronounced the odd center.
It is on? Okay.
Oh, it is. Okay. I've been saying no
The
to
PA announcer, Stephen Avanco.
Stephen Avanco? Okay.
He's right over to our PA announcer.
Yeah.
Sunday, I'm going to give you maybe a list of thank yous. Hey, you want to thank
Judges reward 24.65.
Christy Avanco. It's her
Caroline, 104C.
Sounds good though. The Rowan coach, women's coaches, just had a lady and she's on the show.
Oh, okay. Appreciate it, yeah. Like, I forgot to grab his name. If I would have said his name. Yeah. Yeah, appreciate it.
Literally, right when we're starting.
Judges reward 30.8.
I saw this was unplugged. I wasn't sure if that was part of it.
No, don't worry. No, yeah, don't unplug it.
It was plugged. It was unplugged before.
Yeah, don't. Yeah,
So just stick with it. Yeah. Got it.
just don't want anything to happen to that.
Hey, this is all normal.
All right. I'm gonna do this.
Judges reward 21.0.
Folks, we apologize for the technical difficulties. We had one of our cameras go out. Not really sure why, but we're going to let you know what is going on. And do our best here to give you who is diving, what they are diving, and the scores. That last dive was Hannah, 303C reverse. She received scores of 4.46, 5.55, 4 and 4 for 27.2. Our next diver is Audrey Hitchens doing a 202A, back one somersault straight. Score for Audrey, 26.35. 5.5, 5.5, 5.5, 4, 5, 5.5. Jenna Ringo is performing a 303C, reverse 1.5 somersaults tuck, degree of difficulty 2.1. Score 17.85. 2.5, 3, 3.5, 3, 2, 3, 2.5. Melody Lynn is performing a 303C, reverse 1.5 somersault tuck. Degree of difficulty 2.1. Judges award 31.5, 5, 5, 6, 5.5, 5, 5, 4.5. Elizabeth Abaldi is performing a 104B, a forward 2 somersault hike. Degree of difficulty 2.3. Judges award 39.10, 5.5, 5.5, 6, 6, 6, 5.5, 5.5. Emma Walker is performing a 301B, reverse dive pike, degree of difficulty 1.7. Award 24.65, 6, 4.5, 4.5, 5, 5, 5, 4.5. Caroline Barron is performing a 302C, reverse 1 somersault tuck, degree of difficulty 1.6. Award 22.4, 5, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5, 5, and 5. Joelle Oyster is performing a 401A, inward dive straight, degree of difficulty 1.8. Award 19.8, 4, 4, 3.5, 4.5, 3, 3.5, 3.5. Hannah Simons is performing a 203B, back 1.5 somersaults pike. Degree of difficulty 2.3. 24.15. 3, 3, 4, 3.5, 3.5, 3.5, 3.5.
302C.
Audrey Hitchens is performing a 302C, reverse one somersault tuck. Degree of difficulty 1.6. Judges award 26.4, 6, 5, 5, 5.5, 5, 6, and 6. Jenna Ringel is performing a 203B, a back 1.5 somersaults height. Degree of difficulty 2.3.
It's on the NJAC website. It's on the box now.
It is? Oh, there it is, right there. Live streaming tickets. Cool. Thank you.
$29.9, 5, 4, 5, 4, 4.5, 4, and 4.5. Melody Lynn is performing a 5-1-3-2D forward 1.5 somersault, 1 twist free. Degree of difficulty 2.2. Judges award 30.80, 5, 4.5, 5.5, 4, 4.5, 4, and 5. Elizabeth Vivaldi is performing a 105C, a forward 2.5 somersaults tuck, degree of difficulty 2.4. Vivaldi is your point leader. This award 40.8, 5.5, 5.5, 6.5, 6, 5.5, 4.5, 6.5.
Emma, 203C.
Emma Walker is performing a 203C, a back 1.5 somersaults tuck, degree of difficulty 2.0. Judges award 12,
Judges award
3.5, 1, 2, 1.5, 2, 2.5, and 2.
203C.
Caroline Barron is performing a 203C back 1.5 somersaults tuck, degree of difficulty 2.0. Judges award 19 even, 4, 2.5, 3, 2.5, 3.5, 3.5, and 3. Joelle Royster is performing a 202A, back 1 somersault straight, degree of difficulty 1.7. Judges award 29.75, 6, 6, 5.5, 6, 5.5, 6, and 5. Hannah is performing a 5-2-3-1D back, 1.5 somersaults, half twist free. Degree of difficulty 2.1. Judges award 31.50, 6, 4, 5.5, 5, 5, 3.5, and 5. Audrey Hitchens is performing a 402C, an inward 1 somersault tuck. Degree of difficulty 1.6. Award 23.2, 4, 5, 4.5, 5, 5, 5, 4.5. Jenna Ringel is performing a 204B, back 2 somersaults tight. Degree of difficulty 2.5.
Judges award 39.0.
Judges award 35 even. 5, 4.5, 5, 4.5, 5, 4.5, 4. Melody Lynn is performing a 5-2-2-3D back 1 somersault, 1.5 twists free. Degree of difficulty 2.3. Award 39.1, 5.5, 5.5, 6, 6.5, 6, 5.5, 6. Elizabeth Vivaldi is your leader. She's performing a 303C, reverse 1.5 somersaults tuck. Degree of difficulty 2.1. Award 27.3, 4.5, 4, 4.5, 5, 4, 4.5, 4. 2 more dives are remaining. Emma Walker is performing a 403C, an inward 1.5 somersaults top. Degree of difficulty 2.2. Award 24.2, 4, 3.5, 3.5, 4, 4, 3.5, 3. Apologize, Caroline Barron's dive was just put up on the screen. 403C inward 1.5 somersaults tuck. Receiver 23.1, 4.5, 3.5, 3.5, 3, 3.5, 3.5, 4. Joel Royster is performing a 5-2-2-2-D, a back, one somersault, one twist free, degree of difficulty 1.9. Judges award. $24.7, 5.5, 4.5, 4.5, 2.5, 4, 3, 4.5. Anna Simons is performing a 5-2-2-3-D, back, one somersault, 1.5 twists free, degree of difficulty 2.3. Judges award. 27.6, 3.5, 4, 4, 4.5, 3, 4, 4. Audrey Hitchens is performing a 403C, an inward 1.5 somersaults tuck, degree of difficulty 2.2. Award. $34.1, 5.5, 5, 5.5, 5, 5, 4.5, 5.5. Jenna Wrinkles performing a 5-2-3-1-D, a back, 1.5 somersaults, half twist free, degree of difficulty 2.1. Judges award. $31.5, 5, 4.5, 6.5, 5, 6.5, 4.5, and 5. Melody Lynn is performing a 203B, back, 1.5 somersaults pipe, degree of difficulty 2.3. Award. $34.5, 5.5, 4.5, 5, 5.5, 5, 5, 4.5. Elizabeth Avaldi is performing a 403C, an inward 1.5 somersaults tuck, degree of difficulty 2.2. Award. $42.9, 5, 5, 7, 6.5, 6.5, 6.5, 6.5. All right, this is our final dive. Emma Walker is performing a 5-2-3-1D back, 1.5 somersaults, half twist free, degree of difficulty 2.1. Emma has 226 points. Emma receives. A 22.05, 4.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 3.5, 3.5, 3.5. Caroline Barrett is performing a 52-11A back dive back dive half twist straight, degree of difficulty 1.8. Caroline has 237.3 points. Judges Award. $27.9, 5.5, 5.5, 5.5, 5, 4, 5, 5. Joelle Royster is performing a 52-2-3D, back 1 somersault, 1.5 twist free, degree of difficulty 2.3. Joelle has 215.15 points. Judges Award. $39.1, 5, 5.5, 5.5, 6, 6, 6, 5. Hannah Simons is performing a 403C inward, 1.5 somersaults tuck, degree of difficulty 2.4. Hannah currently has 252.65 points. Judges Award 30.8, 5.5, 4.5, 6, 4, 5, 4.5, 4.5. Audrey Hitchens is performing a 52-23D, back 1 somersault, 1.5 twist free, degree of difficulty 2.3. Audrey has 266.75 points. Award. 32.2, 5, 4.5, 4.5, 4, 4.5, 5, and 5. Jenna Ringel is performing a 403C, an inward 1.5 somersaults tuck, degree of difficulty 2.2. Jenna currently has 277.5 points. Judges Award. 33 even, 5.5, 5, 5.5, 5, 5, 5, 4.5. This guy has not shown up on the scoreboard yet. Melody Lynn is performing a 403C, an inward 1.5 somersaults tuck, We have difficulty 2.2. Melody currently has 300.5 points. Judges award. 42.9 points. 6.5, 6.5, 6, 7, 6, 6.5, 6.5. Elizabeth Navalny is performing a 51.32D. Forward 1.5 somersaults, 1 twist free. We have difficulty 2.2. She is your leader right now, 356.4 points. Judges award. 41.8. 6, 6, 7, 7, 6, 5.5, 7. I believe that has concluded our diving segment. Elizabeth Navalny has taken it with a top score of 398.2 points, so just under 400. And we're going to switch back to swimming now. So we hope you've enjoyed our diving broadcast. We're going to switch back to swimming in just a moment with our 500 free in both the women's and the men's. That is going off on our swimming stream. So long for now here for diving. We'll see you on the stream scene soon.
The men's, here we go. We're back here on our swimming side of our stream, presented by the PDF Sports Network, as we're working on getting this all set up after our diving portion has occurred. We'll get things locked in for you here on the PDF Sports Network, here for the NJAC, the men's 500-yard freestyle, the bonus finals, coming up right here in just a second. We just had the diving finals again. The men's 400-yard medley relay and the women's 400-yard medley relay occurred previously before this one. To be the men's 500-yard freestyle. The bonus finals start things out. Things get underway in just a moment. Lane 1, Abraham Shim. Lane 2, Drew Westhoven. Shane Hall in lane 3. From Salisbury, Evan Weiser in lane 4. Lane 5, Larry Marienzo. Wackendorf in lane 6. Thomas Seitz in lane 7. Mason Woods in lane 8. Just about to get away, and they are off. Here on the PDF Sports Network, we will have the men's 500-yard freestyle right here for you. For heat number 1, the Heat 1 bonus finals, as we get things sorted out here. The first split was done here for the men's 500-yard freestyles. Welcome Dave Rizzuto back onto the microphone as we're working through it all right here on the PDF Sports Network.
John, if you don't mind, you call this race here.
We'll do it.
As we begin to, I'm going to troubleshoot our diving stream, which went haywire on us, but I'll be back soon.
All right, so we'll take this one. So you're stuck with me here for the NJAC, the 500-yard freestyle on the men's side. The two swimmers from the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy here, this bonus final. Besides coming up in the lead so far, 52-15. He will sit in first for University of Mary Washington. Trying to get a split here. And again, we have fans in front of us, as we have had throughout this week, but we are working through it all, working through some technical difficulties again on the diving side as we get things underway. As we are just about a minute over in this one, hitting the 120 mark, about to on this portion right here Wachendorfer will be in the lead so far in first place right now with a 28-33 split on that one. 120-85, excuse me, he'll be there right there in first place. Wachendorfer right now, the senior from U.S. Merchant Marine Academy, came in the prelims at 4:46.52. Right now he holds on to the lead over there in lane 6. Working 1 through 8 from the bottom of your screen, working up through the top. So 1 through 8 that way. They're in 6th place. Again, he still holds on to that lead over in lane 6. Has now kind of got a quarter of a body over the closest one to him. Moriento working through. Wachendorfer trying to hold on. Looks like Seitz is starting to kind of gain some ground here, though. Working forward. It is 500-yard freestyle. You'll see the 50 freestyle later tonight as well. Good split there from Moriento. He's got a 2:19.62 after that one. Wachendorfer still in the lead, but just by about 0.4 of a second, holding on to that lead right now. We are troubleshooting our diving streams. The diving finals continued over there. Here for the 500-yard freestyle, we have consolation finals of this and the championship finals of this coming up as well. Keeping an eye on Wachendorfer. Now Seitz. Seitz was creeping up before. It holds on to the lead by .02. And it's a 0.01 is the difference between 1, 2, and 3. So it is neck and neck quite literally. And they kicked and turned at about the same exact time. Right now Seitz, though. Looks like Seitz starting to gain some momentum. Starting to get forward there for University of Mary Washington. Holding on. And we'll see what these splits look like. It is Wachendorfer gaining it, though, on that one. About 0.2 of a second he made through. 3:18.27 he's there right now. And still, this race has been a battle. About 3.5 minutes into it for everybody, but we have a 3-man race right now. It is freestyle. It is really the default swim. They're working through, though. What is it going to be right here? It barely separates them. Moriento now holds on to the lead. Seitz has fallen into 4th. We've got Hall in 3rd. Shane Hall from Salisbury is now starting to come into the picture here. We approach the back end of our race here for the NJAC and the 500 Freestyle Championship. Working on the finals. Coming down to it. Moriento hangs on in 1st, working back. Seitz stays in 4th. The order does not change 1 through 4. Still trying to gain an advantage here. Moriento holding on to it for right now. But here comes Wachendorfer. Wachendorfer now has the lead with the body so far, and he might just take it right here for the 500-yard freestyle. But it will be Hall. Shane Hall comes out for Salisbury. Wachendorfer in 2nd. Moriento hangs on to 3rd. Weiser ends up coming in for 4th. Seitz falls back to 6th after hanging on all the way to 2nd earlier in the race. So it'll be Hall, Wachendorfer, and Moriento finishing out that top 3 in the 500-yard freestyle. Coming into this race, it was Weiser who had the best time at the prelims. But a big win for Larry Moriento of University of Mary Washington. And there's David Pizzuto back with me.
That's all right. That's all right.
My pinky sometimes wanders, I guess.
You're using the laptop to write things on, so inadvertently click. So where are we, John?
So we just finished Heat 1 of the 500-yard freestyle. The bonus finals just concluded.
Gotcha.
But a win for Larry Moriento for University of Mary Washington. He ended up getting first place, and that brings up the consolation finals for heat number 2.
All right. Well, you continue to take it, John.
We'll go for it. Took the long races. Bring it up here. The best time in this one in the prelims was Ryan Lester for the United States Merchant Marines Marine Academy. And they are off. Dwayne Hune will be in the lane 1. Matt Merck in lane 2. Gavin Dan's in lane 3 out of Rowan. Ryan Lester, as we just mentioned, from the United States Merchant Marine Academy. Vincent Terzo from Montclair State in lane 5. Dylan Gourlay in lane 6. Noah McCloskey from Rowan, the freshman, in lane 7. Kyle Skelly from Salisbury in our final lane in lane 8. The 500-yard freestyle, again, another stamina-based race, and these early races in these meets have been a lot of stamina-based. They'll get quicker and quicker as we get throughout the meet. 3 heats for the 500-yard freestyle. The championship finals coming on right after this one. This is the consolation finals, and we'll have the women's 500-yard freestyle in just a minute. After all this is done, David Pizzuto heads off to troubleshoot a bit more. We have the thing about sports broadcasting, it never goes exactly how you plan it, but you always figure it out. We've got this final right here for you. But right now we're all good on our side of things as we work back with it. The 2026 NJAC Championship of the men's 500-yard freestyle. This is heat number 2. Trying to get an update on exactly who's in the lead right here as we get on the back end of this last split. So right now, after the first go about it, Lester holds on to first with a 1:18.82 at the moment. Skelly, he's about almost 2 seconds ahead, is Lester. About a second and a quarter at least. Skelly ending up in second so far. Right now, just hanging on. Keep an eye on Lester in lane 4. And he's really zooming now. Again, this is a stamina race. We just saw Seitz hang on to second in the last race for most of it. He ended up finishing in 6th because these swimmers are just that close to each other. Not a ton separated, all of them. We saw them all throughout prelims. Well, that lane 4 for Lester, for the United States Merchant Marine Academy. Again, came into this with a 4:37.59 in the prelims this morning. And continuing to knife his way through the water. We just get over 2 minutes here in this 500-yard freestyle, the second heat of the 500-yard freestyle. And Lester holding on to that lead at 2:15.09. In second place is Vincent Terzo from Montclair State University. Third is Skelly from Salisbury. So right now, that top 3 looking to be pretty consistent at the moment. So we get Lester back into it. Lester still holding on to first place. He's just been consistent throughout this race so far. That top 3 right now looks to be about the same that we had before, with Lester still hanging on in first, Terzo in second, and Skelly in third place here. That top 3 remains the same after the next split. As we welcome back David Pizzuto.
Thank you, John. Yeah, we had some technical difficulties during our diving stream. We had one of our cameras go down. So we had to pivot and use one of our streaming cameras to do diving.
Right.
So then when diving ended, we had to put everything back to the way it was, and it's standing room only over here on the upper deck anyway, so it's kind of hard to navigate between some bodies up here. But I think we're okay, and things are running as smooth as we can. And everybody take a deep breath, and hopefully it holds, and we'll be all right.
I think everyone at home might just be confused because they've had a pretty solid showing right
Yes,
now. We're the ones that need
the
to catch our breath.
On the main pool stream, we've been doing all right.
Main pool has no idea what's going on.
That's right.
All good over there.
What goes on behind the curtain,
We unveil it every now and then.
Every now and then, yeah.
But right now, Vincent Terzo is hanging on. We'll talk. We'll get into that.
Sure.
Vincent Terzo has held on to first place here in this race. It was Lester for so much of this. Ryan Lester, again, the top dog coming into this one. But Terzo has really turned on the Jets here in the main pool. Thank you for tuning in. We've got a good one. And Terzo has really turned it on the backside of this one.
Just a couple of lengths to go, and you hear the bell ringing, signifying the last couple turns throughout the pool. And you're absolutely right. Terzo keeping pace here. He is our leader.
Right now, and Kyle Skelly has done a good job. He was kind of hanging in that third and fourth. It's really, you follow a lot like horses because the fourth place sits there in the back for a bit and then really turns it on near the end. That's what Skelly has done. Terzo's been consistent throughout. We'll see if Skelly or Terzo will take this one in a 500-yard freestyle. We get down to the end right here, and Terzo takes it in first place. Dans ends up taking second on this portion. Skelly ends up in third. Fourth place mark from Salisbury. What a race.
Yeah, they didn't flash those times long on your screen, but yeah, that was, heated second and third place finish. There was only a little under 0.2 of a second between them. So turning it on late, just as you said, John. And, these 500 and, later we'll see the mile in the championship meet. It's just all about pacing, and you get some swimmers who come out fast and start to taper off. You have some that, save some in the tank for the last few turns around the pool, and you have others who just want to be even every single length of the pool, and so they dip from starting out slow, then they get towards the middle, and then stay strong. And you have to be really, really disciplined in these distance races. And, every coach that you speak to, that's what they say. It is endurance. It is stamina for sure. It is the repetition work, but it's also just about staying disciplined and not wearing yourself out.
Didn't do that at all was Vincent Terzo. He stayed through with it from Montclair State University. We have the championship finals. Heat number 3 right here for the men's 500-yard freestyle. Ethan Lloyd from Salisbury. Brian Bull from TCNJ. Owen Mahoney from Salisbury, the freshman, in lane 3. Stephen Benderatis in lane 4 from TCNJ. Matthew Liotti in lane 5. Gavin Foreman in lane 6. Will Hines in lane 7. Kyle Brushaber in lane 8. I remember when I talked a lot about TCNJ in the Open. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6
Yes.
TCNJ swimmers in our championship final. Mathematically, they should do pretty good in this race.
6 out of 8, you like your odds here.
Yeah.
75% of the pool made up of lions.
Yep.
And a couple seagulls in there mixed up.
Little seagulls flying over the lions. Hopefully they can stay on the shoulders of the lions there, those seagulls. 2 beat cuts as well for TCNJ. Benderitis, the junior, and the freshman, Matthew Liotti, beat cuts as well for them. 4:29.70 in the prelims there. The NJAC record's 4:26.59, cut last year.
And it's worth noting the top 4 in prelims all separated by just 3 seconds. So we expect a very tight race here. They were in the pool, John, about 6 hours ago, 6-7 hours ago, just to turn right around here and try to do it again. It's going to be a dogfight here, especially in these later lengths. So let's see how it pans out.
We'll see who ended up taking a nap in between these two things, these two meets right here. The 2026 NJAC Championships. We talk about stamina. It's a long day for a lot of these swimmers.
Right.
But they're used to it. They've been doing it for quite some time now.
That's an interesting point, too, John, because what you're doing in between counts. What you're putting into your body. Are you staying hydrated? Are you giving rest? Are you with the trainer, and doing those kind of things? So every athlete is a little bit different. Every athlete has their idiosyncrasies and obviously their superstitions about what they do between races. But, again, aside from these tournaments, John, you're usually not swimming 2 competitive races in one day, one to get here and then one to medal. So, it's a good test of stamina within the day as well.
Right. I mean, you have to really plan out your entire day, not just what am I going to do in between the race. Your entire day, really the day before everything. And this isn't the only event you might swim in either.
Right, exactly, yeah.
There's so much you have to consider, and these athletes, that's why they're athletes. It's just what they do. Get a big lead coming up right here. Looks like that's in lane 4.
Yep.
If I can count properly. Benderitis in first place right now with Mahoney in second.
Yep, and he won that split by almost a full second over the entire field. Mahoney gained a little bit of ground there, but that was a strong, strong length right there as they go through their 7th turn in the pool.
Yep. Again, his B-cut time, 4:29.70. Hangs on to first place. Looks like so far this has stayed consistent after that last turn. Benderitis continuing to hold on in lane number 4. That's what we're going to keep an eye on all throughout this one.
Yep,
one still good gap between first and second, about a whole second between him and Mahoney. From Salisbury, the freshman from Salisbury, so a lot of experience on this TCNJ side, and then a sophomore and a freshman from Salisbury just getting in the pool right here.
Yeah, we really can't believe those, John, unless you did your accounting on the rosters, because sometimes in Meet Manager they put freshmen.
Do they really?
Yeah, we had a couple seniors that were listed as freshmen in the diving portion as well. So sometimes the SIDs or the coaches don't put the default is freshmen, so they appear as freshmen all 4 years. Carter Cove from Merchant Marine, for example, was listed as a freshman.
Not a freshman.
And he was in the NCAAs last year. So
so whoever is a family member knows what year they are. We'll strike out that storyline right there in the championship final.
And we have so many, windows open on our laptops and, so many papers scattered around. It's hard to grab that roster sheet in front of us.
Right. The brain can only hold so much
Right.
information.
But maybe a little signaling to those who, take care of Meet Manager to make sure you do put those freshman, sophomore, junior,
Right.
and senior tags on your athletes. They do make a difference.
It's 2 characters. So
We do have a dogfight here for second and third,
Yep.
though. Big lead for Benderitis.
He's really extended his lead to 3:05:46 right now
he's
for
got
him.
a good 3-second lead just about.
About a second between Liotti and Mahoney in second and third, and the rest of the race is close as well.
Yep.
So we get closer to the end of this one. We conclude almost the men's 500-yard freestyle. Women will be up next in their 500-yard freestyle as my view gets cut off.
Yep.
See the end of this one. Benderitis continuing to hold on to first place and increases his gap. Mahoney for Salisbury holding on to second for now. It's big for Salisbury to get potentially a second place position here in this individual portion.
Less than a tenth of a second between Liotti and Foreman as well for third and fourth place. Something to keep your eye on.
So Benderitis continuing to work through. The bell rings. We're near the end of this one. Approach the 4-minute mark in this race. Under 4 on this turn for Benderitis.
He's leaving nothing to doubt.
Not at all.
Just gaining with every stroke. And right now, turning it on is Owen Mahoney, putting a little bit more distance. But keep your eye on Foreman. Really motoring down in lane 6.
Still working.
Yeah, he might have overtaken Mahoney for second place. We'll see how they touch up. Easily Benderitis taking gold.
So it'll be Foreman in second place. Mahoney comes in third. Liotti ends up in fourth. So good job by Foreman with 4:29.23. Benderitis' final time is 4:26.12.
That's important for TCNJ. You get those second place points to add to your first as well. The Seagulls have to resort to third place and sixth place with Lloyd coming in sixth there. Hines and Bushaber taking seventh and eighth respectively as we'll switch to the women's 500 free.
And 4:26.12, that beats the 4:26.59 of the NJAC record last season. So another record in this meet.
They seem to fall with every year.
Yep. And the third championship meet for the NJAC. So records will just continue to get broken as time goes on. But now we approach the women's 500-yard freestyle. And that time is 4:59.65 in terms of an NJAC record. The beat cuts at 5:37. We get the bonus finals first up. Then we'll have, again, the same 3 heats that we just had for the men's side.
John, why don't you give us who's in our bonus finals here, 1 through 8?
That was next. Don't worry. Don't you worry.
Sorry.
So in lane 1 will be Devin Ford from Montclair State. Madison Benefield in lane 2 from Ramapo College. Amelia Fanning in lane 3 from Montclair State as well. Brianni Shipe in lane 4 out of U.S. Merchant Marine Academy as they go off right there. Bella Patty in lane 5 from TCNJ. Sarah Brown in lane 6 from University of Mary Washington. Lily Conlon from Montclair State University. Lauren Walls from Rowan in lane 8. They keep going here. We begin the women's 500-yard freestyle portion of our event right here on day number 2 of the 2026 NJAC Championships for the PDF Sports Network as we conclude our first little turn there. Working on that lead in lane 4 is Shipe. Shipe really gaining a lead right there. U.S. Merchant Marine Academy.
Yeah, and again, according to prelims, there was only 1 second separating first and third place. Another 2 seconds separating third from fourth in this heat. So this should be a very, very close 500 yards here.
Pretty good here. The bonus finals. Again, 5:19.78 was the time, a sub 5:20 for Shipe.
Yep, and again, conventional wisdom says that these swimmers may finish in the bottom 8, but the difference between, coming in first among the bottom 8 and coming last, it's a good, 6-point difference. So, every point counts, and, these are big points. And again, we always mention someone from this heat can jump up and claim more points over someone in the heat ahead of them.
Right, depends what goes on in the next round of this one. I mean, a couple seconds separate those rankings, but lowest time there is 5:19.11, so Shipe gets a good time. You can surpass that.
Absolutely. 5:19.78 was her time in the prelims.
And she's getting right through the water here. Again, has about that half-body lead in front in lane number 4.
And after that, it's a log jam. I mean, they are separated by, a quarter to a half body lengths, but this is pretty much synchronized swimming at this point.
Lane 2, Benefield and Fanning, and 2 and 3.
Only a tenth of a second separating second and third, and only a half a second from third to fourth. So just not a lot separating these swimmers at this point as they're approaching the halfway mark.
Lanes 6 and 7 and lanes 2 and 3. Those are two very competitive lanes. Obviously, Shipe right now still holding on to the lead, but that may appear to be tightening just a bit. He's looking lane 7 with Conlon somehow getting through there. We'll see how these splits end up going out. Shipe still hangs on. Fanning now gets up to second, and Benefield still battling. I mean, .06 separates those two swimmers.
Right.
So it's really competitive, and Patty and Brown only separated by not too much either. That time flies off just a bit.
Yeah.
But we're approaching the 3-minute mark in this race. It's about just over 5 minutes on the averages out here. Again, the best time was 5:19.78 as Shipe continuing to swim strong in this 500-yard freestyle.
Shipe continues to hold the lead. Fanning, then Benefield, and Patty, too, has closed the gap a little bit in fourth place.
Shipe gets some gaining here on the turn. Still being approached by lanes 3 and 5 with Fanning and Patty. Again, still a fight for it, lanes 5 and 6 in terms of that race between Patty and Brown. But again, Fanning and Benefield in 3. Shipe with a 3:40.73. Fanning in second. Benefield in lane 2 and third right now with Patty and Brown in 4 and 5. Patty continuing to kind of slowly get a bigger lead over Brown.
Yeah, we're talking about razor-thin edges, though, with the split times. Less than a half a second between them all, so they're staying pretty much on pace throughout.
And it just depends. Will any of these swimmers end up tapering off and maybe opening up a placement for anybody here? Seen Benefield and Fanning continue to compete. Shipe with 33.17 on her split there. Fanning continuing to hold on to second against Benefield. She's slowly picking that lead up. Fourth place for Patty. Brown again holding on against Conlon now.
Brown in lane 6 had the best split that last time out. So she's looking to probably move up the board here and starting to motor in.
We'll see if Sarah Brown has enough in the tank from the University of Mary Washington. Brianni Shipe, U.S. Merchant Marine Academy member, still holding on to first place, but it's getting competitive. You got Conlon, lane 7 with Brown in lane 6 as well. Shipe still holding on to first. Fanning in second with Benefield in third.
Shipe surrendered about a tenth of a second. She was over 33 split time there, and her competitors all sub 33s. Will it be enough? Probably not, but we'll see.
They can continue to cut it down. We're getting into the end of this race right here. Shipe still swimming strong, and here comes Brown. Brown coming through. Sarah Brown cannot catch up to Shipe. Fanning ends up getting second with 5:19.92. Shipe with 5:19.21. You got Sarah Brown in there with a 5:20.26. Fourth place goes to Benefield. Fifth place, that'll be Patty. Sixth place with Conlon. And then Ford and Walls will finish 7th and 8th.
Only 2.7 seconds separating first place from 6th. That's how close that race was. And you said it, Brown was really, really motoring there, John. That was a 30-second split, almost a second and a half better than the field, but it just wasn't enough as she fell 0.3 behind second place. But that was a great spirited finish that time. But Shipe taking that heat.
Getting a really good turn for University of Mary Washington with Sarah Brown, but Shipe does take it. The United States Merchant Marine Academy. A big, big moment there for them in the bonus finals. Heat number 1 of the 500-yard freestyle for the women. Now we have heat number 2 in the consolation finals with Natalie Scafetta for the United States Merchant Marine Academy in lane 1. Kiera Brown for Salisbury in lane 2. Delaney Gibbons in lane 3 for Salisbury. Grace Winkowski in lane 4 as they are off now with Sarah Mandy in lane 5. Taylor Jacobson in lane 6. Katie Mazzacco for TCNJ in lane 7. Avery Watson for Robert Washington in lane 8.
Roger Williams.
Roger Williams. There's a lot of Robert W's in this world. We continue on here.
Yeah, but again, in the 3 lanes, Salisbury in lane 2, 3, and 4, teammates who are used to pacing one another. I'm sure they train together, understand, where to be in the pool at what time. That is a strategic advantage that they could use in this race here, John, in this consolation final heat.
It's kind of that middle portion of the rankings that we're going to see here. The best time of this one, Grace Winkowski from Salisbury, you mentioned 5:11.18. These teammates swimming 2, 3, 4 with each other. It'll be Winkowski holding on to first place right now. All of the Salisbury members at 1, 2, 3 so far with this women's 500 freestyle as we get to the first split, as just over a minute has passed in the women's 500 free.
Yeah, and you wonder how that's going to affect Mandy's run in lane 5. Having the 3 Salisbury swimmers, to her left or right, depending which direction she's swimming in, it could be disorienting too, because you're not quite sure who to pace and how to pace and how they're pacing with one another. So you got to stay very, very disciplined. Again, your internal clock, you're listening for your coach's screams or whistles, although we don't hear many right now. There's a couple that have
right on cue.
Don't know who's giving them out and the instructions. But, yeah, a lot of swimmers, they really can't concentrate too much, but they'll listen for the distinct whistle of their coach out there as well.
I mean, they know the whistle. All the whistles sound the same to me, but when you hear it 100 times every practice, you kind of start to recognize your coach's whistle.
John, my daughters swam. They're small. They don't swim anymore.
Right.
And they were pretty successful, as little kids, grammar school meets and all that. And I would yell all the time, and I'd say, "Girls, do you hear me when I yell?" And they're like, "Dad, no."
No, not even close.
No.
Not even close. I'm sure
I was like, I'd come home sore. My throat was sore, and, all for naught. They couldn't hear a thing.
Couldn't. It's not the largest kind of space as you see in a lot of other arenas, but there's just so much going on that you don't even notice. Winkowski holds on to first place with Kira Brown, and still Salisbury with Gibbons holding on to 1, 2, 3. Scafetta in fourth. And again, you mentioned Mandy in lane 5. Same thing with Scafetta in lane 1, holding on to fourth place, trying to just get some kind of ground here. But you have, again, 3 Salisbury kind of blocking you off right there.
Right. And again, that could be serving to the benefit of Scafetta, right? Because she's pacing herself along with the 3 Salisbury swimmers. You hope she doesn't gas out, but she too right now holding her own, and she's in a lane that is obscured by us, so we have to depend on the live stream to see what she's doing. But she is holding her own there, and she's kind of even the pace a little bit more with Gibbons.
Winkowski doing a good job, just continuing to extend her lead as well, has emerged as the top swimmer right now, is a big lead. Winkowski in lane 4.
Yeah, I'm interested now in the splits. Once we get to turn 13, 15, 17, 19, we'll see who's tapering off here. We'll give those to you. Winkowski 31-31 split. Brown with a 32-14 split, 32-43 for Gibbons, 32-43 for Scafetta as well, 32-66 for Mandy. She had a pretty good split that time, as did Mazzocco at 32-70. So a couple of sub-33s there.
Talk about tapering off. Gaining in is Taylor Jacobson as well, moving into fourth place in lane number 6 for Kane. The sole Kane swimmer in this second portion of the consolation finals. Winkowski with a 31-54, holding on to first place. Kira Brown in second, Gibbons in third, and still Jacobson holding on to fourth place, with Scafetta trailing by not too much, just about a second in fifth.
Jacobson for Kane in sixth, had the best split time there. Scafetta was right behind her, so we're starting to see the outer lanes trying to turn it up.
We approach the final portion of this race right here, the NJAC Championships. Winkowski still hanging on in first place by plenty.
That's a great split, 31-56. That leads the entire field on that one, so she's turning it up as well.
You may have started talking about her time potentially. If this keeps going in the next round as well when you get to the championship finals.
This is it, final turns, here we go.
Winkowski with a huge lead. It's more about what happens with second, third, and fourth right now. Looks like Kira Brown's hanging on right now, but you've got Jacobson for Kane hanging on. Winkowski finishes 5:07.42. Working on it now. Brown in second. Gibbons in third. Jacobson ends up in fourth. Mandy in fifth. Scafetta ends up finishing sixth. Mazzocco, seventh place. Kira Brown with a 5:11.72, just ahead of Gibbons with 5:13.27. Fourth place for Jacobson was just shy of third place, 5:14.08 for her right there.
Winkowski finished strong. She's the only one with a sub-31 on the split, so she left nothing to doubt. But the entire field really did really well in that race, and they all improved on their times just about. I mean, they're right there. And so here we go. Now we have the Seagull show.
The Seagulls just, again, it was TCJ for the men's on the last time. For the women, it's Salisbury. We'll break it down. Caitlin Krauthamel for Rowan, one of two Rowan swimmers here in lane 1. Olivia Palucha for Salisbury. Sadie Hebert for Salisbury in lane 3. Rowan O'Donoghue, the star for Salisbury in lane 4. Addie Wood for Salisbury in lane 5. Jenna Kralzik in lane 6 for Salisbury. Rachel Rickaball for lane 7 for Salisbury. Lily Martin in lane 8 for Rowan. So only Rowan and Salisbury. TC&J, I'm sure, wanted Rowan a little bit right there, but couldn't get up in this championship finals with this entire Salisbury team. So we'll see how this final championship finals, heat number 3, turns out. Rowan O'Donoghue, a star, 5:01.90 was her time in the prelims, way ahead of everybody else. She might be more worried about making a cut than, you know, in terms of winning the race. She probably feels like she has it. It's a huge lead that she has, the 5:01.90.
Yeah, and the cut time, the A cut is 4:45, which doesn't seem that achievable, but the B cut time is 5 minutes even and 37 milliseconds. So that is on the table here. She'll have to shave off about 2 seconds from her prelim time, but we've seen that happen plenty of times. And we'll see how she reacts here also about 6 hours later from when she swam earlier.
Yeah, that was a 5:01.90 time. Just soared through it. Break it down. Salisbury women, they were ranked. Multiple college swimming and diving coach association top 25 polls. They carry number 23 ranking with their poll in January. Also ranked 13th in terms of Swim Cloud's championship team rankings. Tops among the NJAC. In 2025. First of 10 at the 2025 championships, as they are off right here for 2026. We keep an eye on Rowan O'Donoghue. A lot of Salisbury, so in terms of pacing, it's right. For a lot of these swimmers, it's just what you're doing with your teammates for a lot of the time. So you're kind of used to it, you're comfortable, and the two Rowan swimmers on 1 and 8 on the opposite side, so they're kind of split up. They're far apart from their teammates.
Yeah, and you mentioned the 3 second differential in preliminaries, but this is a time where, you know, again, if you're Rowan O'Donoghue, you may be telling your teammates leading into this race, listen, I need to be pushed a little bit more. Yep. I'm expecting to see you to my right on turn 11 or turn 13. You know, things like that. These are things that teammates might say to one another. So it'll be interesting to see how that shakes down. And again, a B cut on the line, you'd have to think, and, you know, maybe a challenge here for the top spot.
And you mentioned that when you're building a program as well, you have a strong swimmer like that can kind of push everybody. When everyone's kind of chasing Rowan at the end of the day, it makes everyone better. And you can maybe see that today here in this final championship of the 500 free. O'Donoghue still close with Addie Wood right there in lane 5. So exactly that. Maybe she only told Addie Wood that, but we'll see as this continues on. Again, a very, you know, it's consistency, it's stamina. It's very highly trained swimmers here.
Yeah, we actually have a tie for 6th place. Wow, 120.65 between Martin and Palucha, was it?
I believe so.
Okay.
Getting exacto right here. Don't see that very often. Again, O'Donoghue holding on to that lead in lane number 4. It's very close just about everywhere else as we kind of expected heading into this race. O'Donoghue with a 30.06 split hangs on to first place with Hebert in lane 2, in second place in lane 3, and Wood right next to O'Donoghue. So the two swimmers next to O'Donoghue, 2 and 3, with O'Donoghue in 4th. Just staying consistent are these Salisbury swimmers. See what Rowan can do on, again, the opposite sides.
The lead is growing, however, for Rowan O'Donoghue. So
just that initial part of the race, just make me feel like I'm kind of competing here, and then you just get into the flow for O'Donoghue. She's getting into that flow right now. Very close for second and third between Hebert and Wood. Just not about 0.4 right there separating those two. still close on the other side in the 5 and 6 lanes as well.
And O'Donohue still pacing at under 30 splits. She's the only one. Everybody else has now gone above the 30 split. We'll see if O'Donohue can post another one here.
And again, if you're shooting for a beat cut here.
29.
Yep. Shooting for a beat cut, you got to get around a sub 5. And if you continue to get sub 30 splits.
Yeah, you might be in business.
Yeah, you got a shot. Not a math major, but.
Hebert had a good split time as well, just north of 30, but was easily the second best split on that run.
See again, Rowan O'Donoghue is now daggering through here, continuing to build some momentum and build a lead over her own teammates. 30-18 doesn't get that sub 30 that you may have been looking for, so we'll see if she's tapering off a bit or if that was just kind of a slower turn right there for her, with Hebert in second still. With a slower split, though, not by much against Addie Wood. Kralzik right there in fourth as well with a 30-90 split.
Yeah, but Wood couldn't gain any ground either in the chase for third, as they are neck and neck, second and third, and we'll have to see how that shakes out.
Between Hebert and Wood, again, two teammates. They're chasing Rowan O'Donoghue, but at the end of the day, they're also chasing each other. We'll see again, O'Donoghue 30-25 now is her split. Still fantastic. Hebert in second still with a 31-05, but Addie Wood gets a better split, 30-68, still in third though.
Yeah, just a tenth of a second off, and she shaved about 0.3 of a second after that last turn. So this will be an important touch on the wall here. It looks like Wood might have the advantage, but we'll see for second place. But let's keep our eye on Rowan O'Donoghue, who just posted another sub-30 split, John.
29.5. Now I think she realizes what she's swimming for right now. And you get the change with Addie Wood in second, Hebert in third. Woods gained a real good lead as well for that second place spot. Kralzik in fourth. And it's all eyes on Rowan O'Donoghue at this point right here, working at the end of this race.
Gonna do it.
453, 23 for first place. A 28-23 split to end it off for Rowan O'Donoghue. Addie Wood ends up taking second with Hebert just over 5 in third place. Kralzik in fourth for Salisbury. Palucha in fifth. It brings down for Rickabaugh in sixth. And the two Rowan swimmers finish 7th and 8th with Krauthamel in 7th and Martin in 8th place.
Not only did O'Donoghue make B cut, but so did Wood. Right next to her, thanks to that sub-30 split times, the last 2 lengths down the pool. So she finishes at 4:59.31, another sub-5 minute mark, and that earns her a beat cut time as well.
So 4:53.23, that's good for an NJAC record that was originally set by Sadie Hebert actually last year of 4:59.65. So Rowan O'Donoghue comes in and absolutely shatters the original record, gets a beat cut there. Not an A cut, but gets the B cut. And the women's 500-yard freestyle goes to Rowan O'Donoghue out of Salisbury and absolutely shatters the NJAC record.
Yeah, what a race, though, by Addie Wood as well. You know, not to be outdone. She was trailing in third place most of the way. She had a prelim time of 5:04.12, so she shatters that by almost a full 5 seconds and cuts her own prelim time down and is able to make NCAA B cut. So that's a great run for her as well. But regardless, it's the trio of Seagulls that dominate that race, and the others to boot, as they had 6 out of 8 in the pool.
So a really good showing just by everybody. Big points. Salisbury will get a ton from that, the championship finals. So really, again, they went 1 through 6 in that final. It's big for them. Rowan's going to pick up a good amount of points at 7th and 8th as well. But that will do it for that. We'll bring up the men's 200-yard individual medley. Again, we'll have 3 heats of that, as we just did for these last few races. Bet number 11 for us.
At this time, we ask that you please direct your attention to the awards.
They are going to give out the awards at the podium. Unfortunately, we do not have a camera there, and we can't get one there because the crowd is obscuring us. But they are going to announce our winners.
We'll wait on those announcements before the 200-yard individual medley. We'll get some awards.
Yeah, they're announcing the 400 medley relay. I think US MMA took the bronze.
Yep.
Congratulations to our medalists who are approaching our podium. Again, we apologize. We cannot get a camera down there near the podium. It's located in the opposite corner of the facility where our camera just simply can't get a vantage point of it.
See if you can hear public address announcer Stephen Ivanko. So again, congratulations to all these winners. A lot of
Yeah, but Steve Ivanko down there doing such a great job, as he always does here, and the voice of the championship meet.
He's got a long week.
Yeah, paces us through diving and really carries our diving broadcast, announcing all the divers and the dives that they perform.
And Stephen Ivanko.
Ivanko, yeah.
We get it right. Not sure exactly how many awards they're giving out here, but again, we wish we could show it to you. If we could show it to you, we would. We absolutely would. But Arthur Camper, again, obscured by that crowd, as there's a really good showing in terms of the crowd. If anything, us not being able to show you the podium just means that the crowd is really good.
Right, exactly.
Because there's a ton here and a ton of parents, family, everybody that came out to support their squads. I mean, this is a lot of New Jersey schools that come down all the way to Hampton, Virginia for this. It's not the easiest trip in the world, so it's fantastic.
Now they'll announce the 1 meter diving. That's a College of New Jersey taking the bronze there. Melody Lynn taking the silver, also from TCNJ.
And our 2026 NJAC champion with a winning score of 398.2, a record from the College of New Jersey, Beth Evaldi.
Yeah, Elizabeth Evaldi secures the clean sweep with a NJAC record 398 plus points. So congratulations to our women's 1 meter divers. The women will be on the diving board again on Sunday for 3 meter competition.
Well, that's a TCNJ with a clean sweep.
Yeah.
Right there. Stephen Ivanko got to say the College of New Jersey.
Right.
We shorthand. We do have the, again, 200-yard individual medley coming up.
We have 2 more events for the men and the women, 200 IM and the 50 free. Now they're going to announce the 400 medley women's. Rowan gets on the podium for the bronze medals.
Our second place finisher with an NJAC runner-up time of 3:48.69 from Salisbury University. Izzy Salvatore, Mackenzie Willow, Greg Griffin, Luke O'Donoghue.
Salisbury taking silver medals.
We just await the winner of all that.
Right.
And our 2026 NJAC champion with a winning time and record time of 3:47.54 from Kane University, Braylon Wilson.
Record set by Kane, and they'll go up and get their gold medals.
Kane Cougars found a way. And it's just a really quality program right there.
Yep.
Big gold. And they will remind you, it is Kane. They make sure to remind you. Before you even make the mistake, they remind you.
I made it once.
One time.
And I should know better.
I think everyone gets a pass. I said the wrong Roger, so I think we're even at that.
Right. Well, there are some tongue twisters.
Yeah.
Saying as many names as you do, John, between the individual athletes, the team names, the mascots.
Yeah, the mascots too. You forget about those.
But this is part of just a great week of championships for the NJAC. Of course, we have swimming and diving this week. Of course, we have on the 21st and 22nd indoor track and field. The basketball championships start as well, both men's and women's. So just an exciting time. The month of February, just electric here for the New Jersey Athletic Conference. We're happy to be a part of it here on the PDF Sports Network. We thank everyone here at the Hampton Aquaplex and everybody associated with the NJAC for allowing us this opportunity to showcase this terrific championship.
Right. I mean, everyone just treated us exactly the way that we need to. I mean, everything that we've ever asked for and needed, it's right there, even things we don't ask for. So, it's been a great experience so far. Only day 2, too. So still plenty to go. Still the rest of today left.
They're in the pool.
They just went.
Just like that to start our bonus heat of the men's 200 IM. John, why don't you give us a rundown of who's in the pool?
In lane 1, you got Drew Hebert. At lane 2, Cam Hogg. Lane 3, Daniel Grigoriev from Salisbury. Hunter Adams in lane 4 from TCNJ, the College of New Jersey. In lane 5, Drew Staniszewski from Rowan. In lane 6, Luke Austin from Roger Williams. Patrick Clementi in lane 7 from Rowan. And Milo Stefanowicz in lane number 8 in his 200-yard individual medley.
Yep. And Hebert getting off to a flying start in lane 1. He finished in second on that last split. We'll see if he can continue to manage that pace. Otherwise, it was Adams leading the pack, as we would expect in lane 4.
We saw a lot of these in the morning. It's not the easiest race in the world to do with Adams holding on to first.
Yep, and there are 4 teams represented in the pool here in this third heat, as we have fans who parked it right in front of us again, John, so I lost all sight of the pool here.
It's tough to find a seat. I've also lost all sight of the pool, so we'll keep an eye on our scoreboard right here.
Exactly. We'll have to keep an eye on our live stream and our scoreboard here to give you the rest of this one.
Butterfly.
Yep.
So Adams still holding on to first place right there. Staniszewski in second. Stefanowicz holding on to third.
Yeah, still many of the same split times here in the 32 range. A couple trailing off Austin with a 34-second split. Grigoriev with a 35-second split. A little bit now off the mark in lane 3. We'll see if he can make up some time here as they get into the freestyle. Adams tops out in first place with a great split of 27.53. Staniszewski takes second. Grigoriev third, despite the tough butterfly stroke. Stefanowicz in fourth from there. And now we'll go into our consolation finals.
And Hunter Adams' time better than most of the consolation finals prelim times. So TCNJ started to go well. We'll just get the names out the way for now. Dylan Negron from TCNJ in lane 1. Michael Salvatore in lane 2 from Montclair State. Teague Mayer from the United States Merchant Marine Academy. Nick Viola in lane 4 from TCNJ. University of Mary Washington. Jonathan Zimmer in lane 5. Michael Palos from Salisbury. Sean France from Salisbury in lane 7. Michael O'Leary from Rowan in lane number 8. Heat number 2.
All right. Once again, consolation heat. There'll be one more after this. Everybody in the pool, barring a disqualification, scores now in these final heats. We'll have updated team scores in the morning for you during prelim heats and, of course, tomorrow evening as well. Great turn there by Salvatore in lane 2, as well as Meyer and Viola. TCNJ occupying lanes 1 and 4, but it is Mayer right now in first place. A great split time, 23.90 to finish things on that first length. and they head back down the other way.
Yeah, that 2 through 7 is just close right now.
Mayer continues to pace at 26.97.
Salvatore 52.88. Viola 52.98.
Yep. All under 28-second splits.
Strong turn here. It's like Mayer's still holding on in lane number 3.
Mayer leading the pack, but shaving off some time was Zimmer now in lane 5. He took over second place, about 2 seconds off the leader, but took over second place by about a second.
Come down to the end right now here.
Yeah. John, you better have to call this because I really can't see anything.
I can't see either, but I think Mayer might have done it. He did. I saw Mayer. That's all we needed for first place. And Zimmer at second.
Good run by Zimmer. He won the last 2 splits in the pool on the butterfly and the freestyle, and he managed to take second place. Getting third there was Salvatore, followed by O'Leary, who was all the way up in lane 8. Also had a really solid split time as well, along with France, who ends up finishing in 8th, but he finished really strong. But here we go, as the fans leave us in front of us, just in time for the championship heat.
Just in time for heat number 3, the championship finals. In lane number 1 will be Tyler McGeehan for TCNJ. Dominic Casey in lane number 2 for Salisbury. Pablo Salazar for TCNJ in lane number 3. Gabe Beverini in lane number 4 for TCNJ. Braden Sheehan in lane number 5 for Rowan. Salisbury again with Cameron Bird. John Frank in lane 7 with United States Merchant Marine Academy. And Nick Hart, the same place in lane number 8.
All right, so cheers come up. We have 3 Lions in the pool in lanes 3, 4, and 1. Salisbury in the middle of a couple of Lions in lane 2 and in lane 6. Rowan and Sheehan in lane 5. Looking to give them all a run for their money.
NJAC record 147.82. That's the number you're shooting for here. Nobody had a sub 150 though in the original prelims here, so we need a big improvement. B cut though is 150.25.
And it goes to say that there were 3 swimmers in prelims that were within 1 second of B cut time. So you'd almost expect that those 3 will make the cut here if they turn in a better performance. We're talking about lanes 4, 5, and 6. 3, 4, and 5 with Salazar, Beverini, and Sheehan.
2 from TCNJ right there. Again, TCNJ so far having a great couple of days on the men's side of things.
0.06 of a second separated Beverini from Sheehan.
Wow. There's just a lot of close competition with TCNJ. We'll see to the 50s too.
So here they go into the pool to start things off. Butterfly first. Off to good starts. Lanes 2, 4, 5, and 6 as well. Dead heat as they come in. You'll see the numbers flash on your screen. Too close for us to see. Mikazi in first so far with a great time of 23.47. We'll see how the backstroke fares for this bunch.
23.62 for Frank in second as well. So still close. Depends where is your strongest stroke. That kind of can make or break you. We'll get down to it.
Backstroke will tell you right now who rules the roost. As touching in first is Sheehan with a great split time of 27.45. Bird with a 27.52 split. Obviously is strong for him. He's in second place in lane 6 up near the top of your screen. But now with the breaststroke, you could see our middle and interior lane starting to take over here in Salazar and Beverini.
You almost had Bird leading the roost. That would have been a good one, but Salazar and Beverini really coming strong here.
And they will be 1-2 for sure. It is Beverini. Sheehan takes second place.
Beverini holding on, but not by a ton.
Yeah, McGeehan actually took over the bronze in third place for TC&J in lane 1 with an exceptional breaststroke. But here we go. All the way down. Last half length of the pool. The freestyle, they're going to be neck and neck. Can Sheehan take it? No. Beverini comes in first by 6/100ths of a second again. Not once, but twice. Winning by 6/100ths of a second. 149.37, 149.43 for Rowan's Sheehan. And the bronze taken by McGeehan up top in lane 1.
The rivalry of Rowan and TC&J, 6/100ths of a second. They're going to talk about that for a while after that.
And
My
easily
goodness.
making B cuts.
Yep.
For that one. So we expected it to happen, and it did. As we'll move on now to the women's 200-yard individual medley. 3 heats in this one. We'll start with our bonus finals. John, who do we got in the pool?
We got U.S. Merchant Marine Academy member, lane number 1, Catherine Kennedy. Grace Geyer in lane 2 from Kane. Samantha Watson from Salisbury. And Riley Shimp Donahue in lane 4 from Rowan. Kaylee Sheehan in lane 5 from Rowan as well. Ava Grace Zettler from Roger Williams in lane 6. Victoria Zwin from Kane. And Audrey Zivak from University of Mary Washington. They go.
All right. And they're off and flying down the first 25. A dead heat among them all. Looks like first to touch was Sheehan in lane 5. We'll see if that holds here in the final 25 of the fly. As they'll switch up to the backstroke. Touching it first was indeed Sheehan. In second, Zivak. And in the bronze up top is Kennedy in lane 1, actually, towards the bottom of your screen.
Just wish I was a little bit taller, Dave.
Yeah,
Just a
it's
little
tough.
bit.
I don't see lane 1 at all now at this
No.
point with the fans in front of us. But
Or 2 or 3 or 4.
Yep.
So,
Might have to set up our screen for tomorrow. We'll see if we
Yeah.
can do that.
if I could get a step stool somewhere.
Good
Stand on the ladder.
backstroke here for Sheehan as well.
Yep.
Flying through this one.
Rowan making up some ground in terms of the standings. You got Zivak in first place
Yeah.
in the 8th lane.
Shimp Donahue had the best split there on the backstroke, worked her way up to the bronze in 4th place. That's why she's in that pole position as they now head for the breaststroke. In the first 25, looks like Sheehan again touches the wall first, just ahead of Shimp Donahue. We'll see if she can shave off the final trail. And coming on strong is Watson in lane 3 for Salisbury as well. This final 25 looking good for her.
She came out stronger on that turn when they came up.
Yeah, Watson
hangs
took
on the
over.
first. Yep.
Yeah, took over.
37-18. What a split.
Right, and Sheehan split was 40. So that brings her down to second as they switch places. And here we go in the free. And it is Watson right now flying through the first 25. And I don't know if she's going to be caught. Lane 3, Samantha Watson. They'll give her a run for it. In lane 5, Sheehan coming on strong late. But indeed, it will be Watson taking first, Shimp Donahue in second, Sheehan in third, Zettler in fourth. Only 0.2 of a second separating the teammates Shimp Donahue and Sheehan for second and third in our bonus leg. Good race.
That was just the bonus finals right there.
Yeah.
So really good stuff.
Consolations next. John, what do we
We'll
got?
go through. We got Catherine Geyer from Montclair State University in lane 1. Carly Dillman in lane 2 for University of Mary Washington. Maddie Powell in lane 3 for Salisbury. Logan Bagley in lane 4 for Salisbury. Sydney Stemley from Cade in lane 5. Letitia Lanes in lane 6 for Montclair State. Liliana Kubal in lane 7 for TC&J. And Sierra Wakefield in lane 8 for Salisbury. And the best time out of this one, Logan Bailey in lane 4, 2:11.67. But not too far ahead of Sydney Stemley and Maddie Powell.
Right. Less than 0.3 of a second separating first and third preliminary times in this one. We expect a spirited one here. Butterfly looking strong. Getting off to a nice start was Dillman as well in lane 2. She might have been the first to touch there.
So.
But it does look like lanes 4 and 5 with Bagley and Stemley It's like Stemley separating herself from the pack here.
A loose 7 and 8 as well.
Yep, she will touch up first, Stemley does, for Kane. And Dillman in lane 2, like we said, getting off to a really good start. Right now holds silver. Geyer in lane 1 finished the butterfly in 3rd. Now on to the backstroke and the second leg of it.
The backstroke kind of has really been where you've determined who's really got it in this race. It's decided a few of these.
And Stemley, I think, is going to have the best split among them.
Yep.
32-37. Actually, Bagley's split was a little bit quicker, and she is 2/10 off the lead. Dillman is continuing to hold in 3rd place. She's in lane 2, representing Mary Washington. The breaststroke is next, where we're starting to see Bagley work her way back.
Like Stemley, though, kind of regaining things here.
And it's still
Powell.
It's Powell who took over there with a 37.08 split there in the breaststroke. She flew. She was about 2 seconds better than the field in that one. But here comes the freestyle, and we'll see where seconds can be made up, if they can be made up, through the final 50. It looks like it's going to be Stemley and Powell down the stretch. Stemley, I believe, overtook Powell there and is flying in towards the finish. It looks like it will be Stemley. And the Kane Cougar finishes with a split of 30-51 to take first. Powell takes second at 2:11.17, about 0.8 seconds behind. Dillman cashes in at 3rd, and Bagley, who had the pole position, finishes in 4th.
A really close race there in the second heat of that. Good performance from Kane. Kane really starting to rebound right here as we head into the championship finals in heat number 3 and lane number 1. Marianne Tassinari from Montclair State. Lane 2 from Salisbury, Libby Miyashita. And then lane 3, you've got Mackenzie Gula from Salisbury as well. Ella Pennington in lane 4 for Rowan. Olivia Chow from Kane in lane 5. Emma Bellars in lane 6 from Kane. Trisha Lau in lane 7 for Rowan. And Riley Cornell from Rowan. Ella Pennington had a B cut in the prelims with a 2:04.71. The NJAC record's 2:03.87, so maybe looking at that one right here.
Yeah, so you got Rowan right in the middle of the pool and a pair of Kane swimmers to her left and a pair of Salisbury swimmers to her right, at least when they start off the block. We'll see how that figures into things, but like you said, the B cut already achieved here. B cut for NCA's 2:05.70, and it is something that Chow and Gula could kind of earmark as well. If they shave off 2 seconds off their prelim time, they would have achieved it as well.
Again, not too far off, like you mentioned. Really good position to do it. Talking about records, any of the beat cuts we could see some here if they can shave some seconds off, but
yeah, Bellars as well is right there at 2:07.88. Yep. You're right. So narrowly, she can shave off 2 seconds to 2.2, I guess. She can also achieve it as well. So one is already in the bank with the beat cut. We have 3 more who have a shot. Once again, we can't really see in front of us, John, so we're going to depend on our scoreboard. Try to get his attention, but wasn't working.
Gave it a shot.
Yep. All right. So through the first 25 with good pace was Pennington for Rowan, leading the pack by about a quarter of a body. Pennington with a 25.82 split, 3/100ths of a second. 1.3/100th of a second over second. As they go into the backstroke here, Pennington had that one by a good second there, John. As they come into the final turn here, the backstroke, things are starting to even out, however, between Pennington and Chow.
Pennington holding on to first.
Yep. Not by much, however, as it's about 0.5 seconds off the leader. The breaststroke, we'll see if Pennington can continue to build on her lead. Yeah. And it looks like giving her a run will be Chow, indeed. She cut into that lead on the final leg of the breaststroke, and we'll see how they come in 1-2. It will be Pennington and Chow separated by about 0.6 seconds as they come into the final lengths of the freestyle. About a body length lead here, and in the turn comes Pennington. And again, we'll see if that mark can be achieved for NCAA beat cut time for Chow. She's certainly on pace for it and might give Pennington a run for her money there in the final third. Pennington will take it.
Chow gets the beat cut.
Yeah, she does get the beat cut. Second place with a time of 2:04.70. And taking the bronze will be Belarus for the Cane Cougars.
Yep. There you go.
2:04.70.
Should have put that in the universe.
Can you just punch me every time I say that?
It'll be a boxing glove. But great race there as well in this heat.
Yep.
Ella Pennington doing such a good job and breaking her original time with 2:03. That's 2:03.95, so just shy of the NJAC record. That's 2:03.87. So Kinsey Brooks gets to breathe a little bit.
0.02 of a second.
Yep. That brings us to the men's 50-yard freestyle.
All right, where speed rules and is king. Yep. We'll have our men first. 3 heats, obviously, bonus consolation and finals, and don't blink or you'll miss them.
Don't blink at all, and I'm not going to blink because I'm not wasting time on the names here. Eli Palavchik from University of Mary Washington in lane 1. Joseph Sweet in lane 2 from Ramapo. Aiden Lohr in lane 3 from Salisbury. Josh Oliveira from Rowan. James Gilmet in lane 5. Brandon Harvey in lane 6 from University of Mary Washington. Bobby Freese and Adrian Gonzalez in lane 7A, both from Montclair State University. A lot of 21 times here. You'll see a lot of 21 times. We did have a sub-20. We'll get to that when the time comes. Right. But a lot of TC&J in that top part. But this is the bonus finals in heat number 1.
Yeah, they are going to announce our winners.
So I got ahead. We got ahead of the game. We're ahead of the game.
We did, but that's okay because we're going to get our
awards here. Yep.
500. Salisbury taking the bronze.
Owen Mahoney.
Yep.
And they went right into it right after this was announced.
Right. TC&J grabbing themselves another silver.
And our 2026 NJAC champion with a winning and record time of 4:26.12 from the College of New Jersey, Steven Benderadis.
TC&J with another gold.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Benderadis getting that
Benderadis.
Yep.
And that's a new NJAC record as well. Congratulations to our medalists in the 500 free.
Again, the other side as well. So far, a great day of swimming and diving. We saw a lot, too.
please keep your attention on the awards podium as we honor the top 3 finishers in the women's 500-yard freestyle event. Our third place finisher with a time of 5:01.59 from Salisbury University, Sadie Huber.
So Sadie taking the bronze for Salisbury and an all Salisbury 500 free podium.
Our second place finisher with an NJAC one-run time, a new record of 4:59.31 from Salisbury University, Baby Wood.
Wood taking the silver medal. She had a great race.
Yeah.
2026 NJAC champion with a winning time and a new league record time of 4:53.23 from Salisbury University. Rowan O'Donoghue.
Yeah, Rowan left little to doubt. Rowan O'Donoghue from Salisbury grabbing the gold and setting a new record as well. Championship 500 free on the women's side.
A really good performance from Rowan O'Donoghue. Again, we approach the 50 free.
Yep, and they might get right into it here, John. They usually take us by surprise.
That's what they did. So you heard the names. Stars coming out. This is where just 50-yard freestyle, you just go for it. Gotta get out like a rocket. It's all about that start sometimes, too. We've had a lot of stamina-based races, but this is just go for it and go and go. 50 yards for your lives right here. Good night.
Yeah, and we're talking about, the first finisher and the, last finisher in prelims separated by what, a half a second?
Yeah.
So it's basically a photo finish for us anyway.
And it will be.
Looking at the board and figuring it out.
We'll be out of the board. We'll really get a split time because, well, it's just this. A lot of great athletes right here, 50 yards. It's very quick. It's about 20 seconds, and they are off, and they go quick. I'm going to scoot to my left, try to get a view on the back turn. A lot of stars out here. Ooh. This just rolls. It is tight. It's about as tight as you can get. 4, 5, and 6 are going to be right there to it. Don't forget about lane 7, though. Yep. We'll see who ends up getting it. It will be Palavchik in lane number 1. Wow. 21:08 first place. 8 more. 21:09 in second place. Third will be 21:26. Wow.
Yep. All but 2 swimmers coming in.
We've got a tie as well.
Sub 22, right. And 1/100th of a second separating them.
Timo Rigakos in lane 1 for Salisbury. JT Lasko in lane 2 for Rowan. Peter Yarzab in lane 3 for Montclair State. Owen Brewer in lane 4 for Salisbury. Bradley Frank in lane 5 for TCAJ. Kian Hernandez, United States Merchant Marine Academy in lane 6. Mason Parkses in lane 7 from Rowan. And Kristen Werner in lane 8 for Rowan. Here we go. Again, these swimmers. This is one that you get really excited for. As you can just go, it's quick, it's over before you can even process what happened. Looks like you've got lane 5 working here. Lane 7 and 8 going on strong as well. 4 and 5 are going to come down to the battle. And it will be Brewer in lane 4 for first place, Frank in lane 5 for second, and Rigakos in third. That's your top 3.
Yep.
Got Hernandez.
And Brewer was the only one with under 21 seconds in that split, 20.73. And he won it by about 0.3 of a second. So a heated race, a good one, and maybe a second separating first from last, but not much in between.
Well, we're right to the championships right here. Mason Pons from Salisbury in lane 1. Max Fedorenko in lane 2 for the United States Merchant Marine Academy. James Augustine in lane 3 for Roger Williams. MJ Hoban, who had a 1994 in lane 4. Joe McChesney, the brother of a TCNJ legend, in lane number 5. Sam Roundtree in lane number 6 for University of Mary Washington. Michael DeSimone in lane 7 for Salisbury. Reese Storr in lane number 8 for the University of Mary Washington. So James McChesney, Joe McChesney's brother, was a legend. 2-time NCAA champion, 18-time NCAA All-American. We'll see what little brother can do in lane number 5, but MJ Hoban, 3-time All-American as well, and qualified for the NCAA's last season.
Just a couple of small shoes to fill, no big deal.
A little bit. He put on the Lion cap. McChesney, that's a big name at TCNJ.
Yeah.
And the swimming program, and Coach David Dow out there. Shout out to Justin Osterwick for some good notes on that. Seton Hall swimmer knows these guys. But it's all eyes on these 2 TCNJ swimmers in this quick 50. But again, 1994, we saw that from Hoban. I was kind of watching these prelims thinking, who's going to get sub 20? You got one. Made a B cut.
Yeah, and that's, of course, the swimmer to watch, but he's going to push the field as well. So we'll see if he can improve on that prelim time and maybe take a few others with him. Here we go.
Maybe. And here they go. Again, chasing that sub 20. And they are zooming through this one. Hoban looks strong. He gets that first kick. McChesney right there with him. But you've got Roundtree in lane 6 as this thing's starting to even out. What will they finish with? Can Hoban do it again? No, but he gets 20:05. Augustine in second. Roundtree in third. and Fedorenko in fourth right there. DeSimone in fifth. Storer in sixth. McChesney ends up in seventh. A lot of these times are so close as well, with Potts in eighth.
0.87 seconds separating first from last in that race. So, again, if you blink, you miss a couple of places there.
You miss the end.
But the result holds, and Hoban takes gold. Just over 20-second split time.
And that NJAC record of 1988 not touched at all. James McChesney ended up getting that one in 2024. So
it's safe for another year.
And safe by a pretty good margin. That record for McChesney.
Yeah.
Absolutely impressive. Hoban did a good job with 1994 in the prelims. Got that B cut. But now the women's 50-yard freestyle coming up right here. Ashley Kahns in lane number 1 for Kane. Madeline Rogers, lane number 2 for Montclair State. Claire Dombrowski in lane number 3 for Roger Williams. Megan Fallon, lane 4 for Mary Washington. Maddie Wishnow, Jessica Felsky, Barbara Mora, and Natalie Woodman as they are off here. About 8 seconds in. Working on a 50-yard freestyle here in the bonus finals. The NJAC Championships. And here's that turn that you always have been waiting for. Looks like the backside of this one is going to end up getting right here. Is it going to be Mora? Ends up being Rogers at the top in lane number 2. They caught up. Rogers with 24.75. Fallon in lane number 4 in second. Dombrowski in third place. Wishnow in fourth. And you saw it.
Yep, Dombrowski just missed it by 2/100ths of a second there, but that's a great run. And if that's the way the bonus shakes out, the consolation is going to be just as good.
Just about
leading up to the championship.
And these times are about as tight as you can get. Maddie Timmons in lane 1 for Mary Washington. Caitlin McGuire for Salisbury, lane 2. Sarah Green, lane 3 for Mary Washington. Avery Benini for Roger Williams. In lane 5, Isabel Lunsford for Merchant Marine Academy. Abby Higgins for Mary Washington in lane 6. Tessa Devone, Merritt Montclair State in lane 7. And Bridget Cleveland, TCNJ, the final lane. The second to last 50-yard freestyle. They all hit that turn at just around the 12-second mark. What will they end up with? Benini had it with 24.75 before in the prelims, and this might be shattered right here. 22 seconds now forward, waiting on the finisher. It will be McGuire in lane 2, finishing first place. Lunsford, and we got a tie for a second between Lunsford and Higgins, and then it goes to fourth place with Green, fifth place with Cleveland. Timmons in sixth place, Benini in seventh, and Devone in eighth place. That first place time of 24.11, impressive.
Yeah, they share second place there, Higgins and Lunsford. But I was very impressed with the way Higgins came off the wall there. I thought she might even challenge for first place. And, 8/100ths of a second. That's basically the bat of an eye again.
Yep.
Would have gotten her first in that heat. But here we go, championship round. And this
finals.
one for the medals.
Savi Taylor, lane 1 for Ramapo. Lily Griffin for Salisbury, lane 2. Sila Lee Clifford in lane 3 for Mary Washington. Braylon Wilson, all eyes on the first team All-American last year for Kane in lane 4. Rourke Peralta for Montclair State, lane 5. Kitty Moy Jacobs, Mary Washington. Lex Hilty, lane 7 for Salisbury. Izzy Salvatore in lane 8 for Salisbury. 23-24 for Braylon Wilson. Already got a B cut. Again, a first team All-American. Looking for a big time showing right here in the championship finals for the Kane Cougars. Lane 4 for a reason. Braylon Wilson. What can she do? And he's still got a great field to go against as well. Some close times right here. Another 23 with Rourke Peralta from Montclair State. Exactly 24 with Soleil Clifford.
Yeah, you could say that Wilson is the clear favorite here for Kane, but only about a second and a half separating first from eighth in the pool right now as far as prelims.
If you get a slightly slower entry than you usually get, the entire field can change. We saw that with McChesney in the men's side.
Absolutely. You are 1/10 of a second off that block slow. It can cost you the entire race.
It can cost you everything that you've worked so hard for this season.
Clifford
the fastest
challenging.
swimmers at the end of this one. Clifford definitely challenging Wilson in lane 4.
Wilson did come off the wall first.
Did come off first, but will she end up getting it? I'm going to keep my eye on the scoreboard right here. And here they come. Wilson with 23.18. Peralta in second place with 23.48. Clifford with exactly 24. Moy Jacobs in fourth place. Taylor in 5th, Griffin in 6th, Hilty in 7th, and Salvatore in 8th place. So 23:18 is the time for Braylon Wilson, and that defeats her prelim time, and that's just shy of the NJAC record of 23:16 by guess who? Braylon Wilson.
Yeah, and I think Peralta might have achieved a B cut as well. They just took her time off the board, but I think it was just under a couple of hundredths of a second off.
It was under 23:57. She got it.
Yeah, I think it was. It was 23:48, I want to say.
That would have been.
But yeah, she might have achieved B cut there. So a great race for Rourke as well for Montclair State. Terrific sprint freestyler, and we're going to keep it on here, John, and try to get
podium
the best that we could do. There's our podium there, and you could see how obscured we are.
See if enough fans file out.
But we'll pay attention to the. Let's do this.
We'll see what Mr. Pizzuto can do on some camera work right here. We'll figure it out.
And we'll take away our picture-in-picture since we don't need that anymore.
Yep, but I did do the research on Braylon Wilson. Sophomore is correct on that one.
Oh, okay, good.
So a long way to go for Braylon Wilson for Kane, and they've got a strong program. They're really gaining some points there as well in that race with a first-place finish. But a good job by the Kane Cougars today to get some ground here, although Salisbury did a good job for the women's side, and we'll get all the updates for you in terms of scoring tomorrow in the morning, so make sure to tune in to all that. We've got some great races coming up tomorrow as well. Yeah, well, tomorrow we will have preliminaries again in the morning in both pools. Just a housekeeping note while we still have most of you with us on the air. If you're following men's swimming during this championship meet, the men will have preliminaries in the diving pool tomorrow. So be sure to tune in for that. But tomorrow we have the 400-yard individual medley, John. We have the 100-yard fly. We have the 200-yard free. We have the 100-yard breaststroke as well, and the 100-yard backstroke. So a lot of 100s and 200s there. And in the diving pool later on, we'll have the men's 1-meter diving preliminaries as well. So nice, full. I think it's our fullest night, if I'm not mistaken. So, in terms of just how many races.
Right, exactly. Yeah. I mean, they'll go quick with the 100s, obviously, but yeah, should be exciting time tomorrow. And then, of course, in the evening is when we have all the final heats. But just as John mentioned, we'll have scoring updates for you in the morning and in the evening as well. We'll recap what happened tonight and give you the official, gold, silver, and bronze finishers as well. Well, let's turn it back to the public address here for the announcement of our winners. And the 200 IM first.
And our 2026 NJAC champion with a winning time of 1:49.37 from the College of New Jersey, Gabe Beverini.
Beverini also gets a beat cut with that time as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more round of applause for our 2026 NJAC top 3 finishers at the men's 200-yard individual medley.
We'll turn our attention now to the women's 200 IM and the announcements of our winners there. That was a great race, too.
Yeah.
The Pennington and Chow showdown in lanes 4 and 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, please keep your attention on the order program as we honor the top 3 finishers in the women's 200-yard individual medley event. Our first finisher with a time of 2:07.26 from Payne University, Emma Bellars.
Emma Bellars takes the bronze for Kane. So Olivia Chow from Kane getting a beat cut time as well, taking the silver medal.
And our 2026 NJAC champion with a winning time of 2:03.95 from Rowan University, Ella Pennington.
Ella Pennington getting the gold and was just a couple of hundredths off the NJAC record, but she had already achieved a beat cut time in prelims. Did it again for extra measure in the finals. Next up will be our men's 50 free announcements of winners.
A lot of exciting races all throughout. I mean, everything was close to the 50s, as you should expect it to be.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you direct your attention to the awards podium as we honor the top 3 finishers in the men's 50-yard freestyle event. Our third place finisher with a time of 20:57 from the University of Mary Washington, Sam Roundtree.
So Sam Roundtree takes the bronze for Mary Washington in the 50 free. Stands up at the podium.
Our second place finisher with an NJAC order of time of 20:50 from Roger Williams University, James Augustine.
James Augustine takes the silver from Roger Williams. 3 different schools represented here on the podium for the first time.
Champion with a winning time of 20:05 from the College of New Jersey, MJ Bond.
So MJ taking it. Didn't best his prelim time, but just over the 20-second mark was able to bring home gold for TCNJ.
It's tough to top a sub 20.
Yeah.
I mean, when he got it, I remember the cheers were, even for prelims, were just
Yeah, off the
humongous.
charts.
Yeah,
Yep.
just from teammates and everybody. Even everyone just there. From other teams. Even some of TCNJ's rivals I saw, they were going, oh, wow.
Please keep your attention on the awards podium as we honor the top 3 finishers in the women's 50-yard freestyle event. Our third place finisher with a time of 24.0 from the University of Mary Washington, Soleil Clifford.
Soleil Clifford taking the bronze for Mary Washington. Great race for him in lane 3 of that. Great race for her for lane 3 in that. I'm still looking at the 50 free for the men on my list here.
The chlorine gets to us out here sometimes.
Rourke Peralta taking silver with her race in the 50 free, and we'll get our final medal coming up.
And our 2026 NJAC champion with a winning time of 23:18 from Kane University, Braylon Wilson.
Braylon Wilson holds true. She was in lane 4 and achieves the beat cut time again, besting her prelim mark, and she's our final medalist here in day 2 of the NJAC Swimming and Diving Championships.
Going for another All-American year for her.
So that will wrap things up for us. Again, before we log off, we remind you tomorrow morning, approximately 9:15 a.m., we will be back on the air. The main pool will have the prelims for the women in the swimming events. The diving stream will have the men's preliminaries in swimming, and then they'll reset the pool for men's 1-meter diving. So that's what's on tap tomorrow night. Tomorrow morning. Obviously, tomorrow night will be our final round again, and that will be day 3 of the New Jersey Athletic Conference Swimming and Diving Championships. Of course, be sure to tune in the morning as well for an update on team scores and how things are shaking out as well. John, any final thoughts?
Just a fantastic day. This is exactly what you expect from the NJAC Championships. A great show put on, and we still got 2 more days of this. This is, if the next 2 days are anything like today, we've got a great one right here. I mean, TC&J doing a great job on the men's side, Kane really rebounding on the women's side, and I'm very excited to see what the final scores are after today, what the rankings look like, because I feel like some things may have changed just a little bit.
Yep.
Because, again, we don't have the math on hand, but there's a lot of strong performances that may have turned some tides here.
Yep, and let's not forget how diving fits in as well, and,
Yep.
and some of the great performances there. So that's going to do it for us here for day 2 of the NJAC Swimming and Diving Championships. For John McCooch, I'm David Pizzuto. Thank you for joining us here on the PDF Sports Network. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 9:15. We start preliminaries again live here from the Aquaplex. Good night, everybody.